VESL is definitely one of the most fun things I've experienced throughout my high school career.
It gets you more involved with the school, leads to new friendships.
The atmosphere is amazing.
I was never going to be able to afford college on its own, and esports for me was the way I actually got to go and get higher education.
This is something that I can really excel in. I'm kind of suited for it. It's felt good, and it's made me way more confident in my own abilities.
I would consider this my friend group now. That's how close we've become all throughout VESL.
One of them actually got recruited. They're going to be playing together in college next year. That's awesome to see those connections. Because VESL covers so much of the cost of all these things, it's accessible to all of them.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to week 6 of Thursday Night Lights, the 6th and final week of the main season, if I'm not mistaken. I don't believe I am. I'm still Sectolence, joined this week once again by Hail Monkey Man, and we're going to be jumping into the games that you guys know and love. Valorant, Marvel Rivals, Brawlhalla. In which order? We know. You're going to find out in just a couple of minutes, of course. Before we get into that, Hail Monkey Man, how you doing, man? How's your day been?
You know what? It's been a blitz through this week. I feel like it's going about as fast as you are. As to be able to get into the spring, the wind continues to be gale force, and it's because we're bringing all the talent throughout the entirety of North Carolina into the forefront. Lots of STEM, lots of great players, lots of fantastic students and programs that are hoping for a footing, not just for the success that they've had through all these competitions, but also towards some big April and May timeframes. We got a lot happening at the end of this scholastic season. This semester is really popping off with a huge conclusion coming up.
It absolutely is, and the fact that we're so close to the end already is crazy, because it feels like a week ago we were just starting, but now 6 weeks later, here we are, and now we've got a lot to talk about, of course, and one of those is going to be something that's become a bit familiar here. Those giveaways that we've mentioned to you guys before, 7 of them per stream, still happening here tonight. We've got 7 for you, and the 7th one is completely and totally live. If you want to be active or a participant for that, make sure you are active in chat to increase your odds of the person being chosen.
You could be able to do that via the pathway challenges on the not work, because it's definitely not work when you're having fun. Completing all 3 mini challenges in the VGC. And you also can make sure that while you're watching, you're able to get into this. You say live in that chat, you'll be able to put VESL in there, and that's definitely going to give you a pathway towards something fun. So shout out over to VESL for giving some, a little bit of love back to everyone that's already putting their blood, sweat, tears, time, and thumbsticks to the grind. So acceptance as we go throughout this day, and we have so much to be able to talk about. It's not just about the giveaways, though the prizes are cool. It's also some STEM, and I've been hearing about some Robocar competitions that have been happening.
This is true. We saw Robocars for the first time last week. We're going to be seeing them again this week. A la GeoGuessr is the game coming up later today. Very exciting. We're excited to show it to you all now. As you can see, Cabarrus, they have gotten a bye, but we're going to be looking at Olympic High versus Durham, Kearns versus Riverside, and Hugh High versus Philip Berry. So a lot of familiar names. I believe 1 or 2 new ones as well, and we're excited to see how these teams can do as we jump into that later tonight.
Yeah, Philippo Berry and Olympic High trying for a top 4 repeat like they did in drones, but there's 6 other squads that are trying to make sure that they have a tough time of getting there. So you basically have your quarters working into your semis, and we get to see how everyone does run up into a states affair. But I'm talking about states. I've been really jiving about states. I'm excited because it is in fact coming up. If you guys did not know where it's happening, when it's happening, and what's going down, well, you're gonna be getting all that and more. Septulence, oh man, it has been so close for us to be able to get there. The pathway has been long. A month and a half has gone by, but make sure that if you pull up your Google Calendar or however you decide to put numbers and letters together to make sure that it is a date, May 17th and 18th, gonna pop off in old North Carolina.
Absolutely. I mean, we were talking about it because we are super excited to get there. We see it just around the corner, and we know it's going to be super exciting. Mario Kart 2K, Brawlhalla, Fortnite, Rivals, Valorant, and of course, all the STEM activities you guys have seen on stream so far. It's just now, at this point, a couple of weeks away, so we hope you guys are as excited as we are to be jumping into it. And speaking of jumping into things, there may be some other things to jump into the future somewhat soon.
Are you ready to find out how to qualify for states and win all the coins? We're announcing April Madness, a playoff tournament for teams to qualify for states.
If you want to play in this tournament, head to our NotWorks Esports Hub after March 28th to register.
The dates of this are as follows:
April 5th and 6th,
April 12th and 13th,
April 26th and 27th,
and finally, May 3rd and 4th.
As you can see, there'll be a break for Easter weekend. Marvel Rivals, Valorant, and Fortnite will be played every weekend for playoffs.
And the top 2 teams will qualify for states.
While NBA 2K will only occur in the first 2.
And the top 8 teams of each week will qualify.
While Mario Kart teams will need to RSVP with the link in their school server. So, who are we seeing at states?
And the
Fantastic
question
work.
there stands, my friends. A very exciting announcement coming at you. The elimination weekends, the April Madness for pretty much every game we just discussed being at stage. There's plenty of opportunities to try and qualify. I mean, quite literally 4 opportunities for most of those events.
Yeah, you got the NBA 2K again. They're only going to have the first 2 weeks, so make sure that if you're trying to be able to get in and qualify for that, you will be participating in week number 1 or 2. Now, the good news is they do take top 8 for 2K. So if you are going to find yourself kind of in a rough schedule patch, you have a chance, and it's a pretty large chunk. But if you want to be part of it and to be able to say, set it, forget it, you got your state's ticket, show up for week number 1, but there's still a ton of chances for everyone to be able to get there. And just like they mentioned, Easter weekend, they will be taking a break. So go crack some eggs, go hang out with grandma, do whatever you got to do, make a giant gummy bear and then get sick off of eating it. And the rest of it can all be esports. I'm very excited to see what is going to be coming through from all the teams that are going to be registering here. The fact that we have so many Mario Kart players, that's going to be huge. All these teams finding that, that checkered flag at the end of the road for all their hard work here, Septilance.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big Mario Kart advocate. My friends and I have had a Mario Kart tournament every year for the last 6 years. We do it every summer. It's super exciting. I've always been a huge Mario Kart player. I'm super excited to see it. I don't get to participate, obviously, but boy, oh boy, am I going to be just as close as I want to be getting to learn about that Mario Kart, because it's obviously a new and exciting opportunity alongside so many great things that VESL is bringing to the table. But, my friend, speaking of things VESL is bringing to the table, some gift cards have been brought to the table, and I believe it's time to announce who our first giveaway winner might be. Oh my goodness! Idyllic, this kid is everywhere. This kid better be in states, because I have read this gamer tag possibly 200 times. I swear. Idyllic is in every STEM program. He's going to win the gift card. So, hey, a big congrats to Idyllic, who I'm sure if we get to the STEM leaderboards later, we're going to be seeing that name a little bit more as well.
So congratulations, Idyllic. Make sure you do reach out to a VESL representative, and you'll be able to get yourself one of those awesome gift cards. But that is the first of 7 in total. 5 more are already pre-programmed, and then you've got the live one that's going to be happening at the very end of the stream. So again, if you want to be able to participate and get in that, put in VESL. That is Victor Echo Sierra Lima. I just barely remember that last letter. That is how you
I
do it.
didn't know it, so I was really hoping that you knew it, because I was like, if he bails, I cannot help on that. I was like, that is fully out of my existence. But folks, we are super excited for that first giveaway. As he mentioned, 6 more on the docket. But speaking of things on the docket, these 3 esports we've been talking so much about, which one's coming up first? Well, it's Brawlhalla this week. We're super excited to be jumping into it. Let's see who the players we're going to be watching duke it out, maybe.
Yeah, this is the last time to make an impressive run of it, and so we're going to be going with Scarlet and 7, so with Jinx and Voxy. So considering how we've seen the last few weeks, feels like we've really had a good just overall kind of idea of how these players have been able to really kind of progress, and the simple fact is that these guys have gotten better and better and better every single darn week. Want to see if that continues to have that kind of that precipice and that I guess really that idea coming into tonight. We've got Mallard Creek Blue, Concord High Gold, and West Craven Red. The biggest thing that I see across this, Concord High, they have not lost yet, trying to stay undefeated for the season.
Yeah, and this is going to be really exciting because of all the players that we've seen in the 6 weeks of Brawlhalla that we have. Excuse me, it's only 5 weeks. We didn't do it in week number 1. Jinx has been in 4 of them. So this is Jinx's 5th or 4th time on stream. It's going to be really easy to know how they like to play. We know it's that rocket lance they tend to bring to the table very often. And already we see Vox trying to answer that out. Now, going into this undefeated, though, that is terrifying, as this is the last week of the main season.
Yeah, and they've showcased that they know how to be able to kind of just establish their level of play, and they go very quickly about taking control of mid-map and more. And Vox, it feels like this, they've not been deterred. In fact, I said that there's all of one player that's in fact undefeated, but we have a, 9-1 and 8-2. So everyone that is going to be showcased today has really been putting in the work. But so far, it feels like Jinx definitely has Vox on a pedestal. Yet both these players in high damage looking for that first stop.
I mean, that was a really good air dodge as well from Vox to kind of turn around that pace of play, force Jinx into the left side of the blast zone, and they get that back air combo to take Jinx out of the equation early on. Vox is going to be able to take that one stock advantage, but check out the color of the health bar. It's going to be a little bit more red than they want it to be at a time like this. The extra credit damage, though, racking up quickly. Vox taking an early lead.
Yeah, that's, as soon as you end up in the spaghetti meter, which is where it goes from orange to red, you got too much marinara, or you're about to receive the sauce, and that's exactly what happened to Vox. But they did get some bonus damage to try and at least force Jinx to have to pay for it. And yet, Vox, as soon as they hit back to center stage off of respawn, they are definitely getting dividends paid in the other direction. Jinx, something about that rocket lance. We've seen several players try to utilize it. It has a quick stab combo to really kind of put you off kilter, but Vox is showing they can be able to get some great just aerials to be able to force Jinx back.
Vox, voice in Latin, I believe. I'm not sure if that's the intention of the player name here, but it does make me, because it's Voxy, right? So maybe they're aiming for something else, but Vox is voice in Latin. Jinx is going to be trying to go for the opportunity early. They've been able to tie up the differential in stock count, but you still see the color differential. Oh, goodness, is so far apart. Vox has taken a little bit of damage, but Jinx has taken a mighty fine bout, and there it is into that blast zone. Voxy taking the lead once again.
So that's something that's going to start coming up, and maybe Vox definitely has a loud voice. Maybe they're screaming all about this one to stay as true to it as possible. They will maintain a second stock, and they actually didn't have a lot of damage from off of Jinx. So as they try to get them into spaghetti world off of their noodle, there's more sauce being given. The more that they receive, tougher it is. Quick! Oh my goodness, that was a wave of pressure and damage. Now Jinx with center stage pressure, they're going to force Vox into a tough box, and they're going to try and keep them from being able to do anything without a weapon.
Yeah, this is going to be a big opportunity for Jinx here because they actually equalized the fight a lot faster that time. They brought it down to a true 1v1 here in the one stock scenario. Now, we saw Jinx win with one stock twice back in week number 3 of VESL, so it's not a new area or territory to be seeing them come through here. So let's see if Jinx is going to be able to win in that last stock territory. Oh, great combo off stage, but Vox does have the weapon they need to return to center stage. Jinx, a lot of just poke damage. Is Vox going to continue to fall for it?
Feels like Vox has just kind of cornered Jinx a few times before, and as soon as they start getting these juggling combos, Jinx is unable to escape. They try to be able to navigate. They use the double platform to get right around him, and Vox is hoping to use that as a bait maneuver. Jinx does get back to the stage, but again, it's back to old tricks for Vox. Oh, a wide sweep, and that'll be where they go. That's them dropping down. Voxy comes up huge with 7, and wow, yeah, dig their grave. They got that first win with style.
There's good, not irony, but like good dramatic irony in the sense of their gamer tag is Voxy11 and they play a character named 7. Like the number theme, I'm really enjoying. I like what we're seeing there. Jinx not able to find that victory, but 7, I mean, really coming out strong. Voxy seems comfortable on what they feel to do there. If they feel like they're going to be able to get in or off stage early, it feels like they're reading Jinx really well. And I'm curious if Jinx is going to be able to adapt going into the second matchup. I don't think we're going to be seeing any champion swaps though.
No, I feel like there's a comfort here, especially because that went down to final stock. It was definitely Vox that was able to find early, I guess, success as well for each and every single one of those. If you see them Jinx staying with Scarlet, it feels like that they're not in a bad place. That definitely is both these players in a high defense style when it comes to their stances for their legends. It's a lot more defense out of 7, so that's why they receive. But then when they start juggling a lot more, it feels like they just don't have the versatility, especially on their total defense, to escape from that just right above platform, because they would drop down and as soon as they met the spear, it was curtains.
Early curtains.
See a lot of the cannon actually get used. Like one time they love the spear.
It was like a scare tactic more than anything else. It was just like, hey, you know that I have the cannon, don't run into it. And then they were able to kind of keep the spacing they needed to get those aggressive combos and that play style of aggression that felt pretty consistent. We're allowing them to give a little bit of time to reset up, and I'm really wondering if Jinx is just taking this opportunity to think the same thing I was thinking for them a minute ago. Do you play the same character? Do you swap things up, or you try to stick with what you know best?
I feel like that it's not again that they performed too inconsistently.
Not at all.
They're gonna be chilling with Scarlet, at least for the time being. I believe that they're gonna be hanging with them, as we will be now going between all of our different stages as Vox just clears the board. They were on Miami Dome. Oh, and we're going back to Miami Dome, so we're gonna be chilling with it. So 7 is Scarlet. Yeah. All right. Cool. So again, you have that super high defense, not a lot of dexterity movement off of 7, so they're just going kind of all hands, all grit, all armor. You have to walk into that spear, but maybe they'll change something up just to keep a Jinx thinking.
The weapons come out early. That hammer able to get a little bit of damage onto Vox, but we needed a really clean combo to start off aggressively. We know Jinx likes to play aggressive. They love to go for that center stage control, typically favoring the left side of the stage to get their eliminations, but now they try to fall out of the air. Vox not letting that happen easily, and the damage threshold that had been gained is immediately closed. Jinx barely in the lead.
again, it's been a lot more hammer. They recognize that, you know, even with the high movement that they get out of the rocket lance, it didn't do as much as they wanted. They had the early combinations that Vox just kind of weathered the storm through, and now they're seeing if they can get pure power, especially off of the wide swing of things that you get from the hammer. But now, as you see the trade out, they don't have anything in hand. They're gonna have to find something. At least they eventually will trade, and that big uppercut from off of the tip of the lance does pay off.
The lance uppercut comes through. Vox taking the lead once again. First time they were able to do this, they were able to walk away with a victory. Can Jinx rewrite history, as the gap isn't nearly as big as it was back in that first matchup? However, it continues to grow. Jinx not able to find their way into that spacing and already into the deep yellows of that health bar.
And this is, again, an undefeated record being defended very, very well here by Voxy.
We're seeing why.
Yeah, we're 9-0. They're very measured. When we looked at the beginning of the season here for VESL with Jinx, it looked, okay, this is going to be that player that's going to be measuring and also setting the benchmark for everyone else. And instead, they are finally meeting their match in what could end up being a grand final style match, but a huge uppercut as they'll go juggling, just forcing Vox to at least stay kosher, but it wasn't with some due harm. There was a lot of damage acquired there by Vox.
Yeah, quite a bit of damage by Vox. It's going to be a little bit scary if you are Vox, but you won the exact matchup like this minutes ago, so I think maybe that territory of fear isn't quite entering the threshold yet. I think if Vox loses this stock and really fumbles the lead, then you get frightened, but we are now an entire stock in the lead, so at this point, I think it's just clean money for Vox. It's their game to lose.
They were using the cannon so effectively. That was one of my big questions, if they were kind of a one-trick pony into the spear, and it didn't really matter at all. And now they've got Jinx on the ropes, possibly looking at yet another, or maybe their first total series loss, because this is still best of threes. They have a chance to force it out. Love the juggling that we're actually getting down to stage. That's where the hammer, the gavel, brings its justice through, and they are unable to recover. That's much better than it was last time. Remember, we had a great recovery going into the last stock in the first map. Gotta see if that continues right now.
Oh, Vox sets up the combo. Jinx able to air dodge out of it early, but they fall right back into a secondary play. Plan B from Vox already on the table before Plan A had even come to a close. Oh, the double hit into a throw. Nothing yet, but I think this is a Herculean task for Jinx at this point. They're already just a hit or two from elimination.
So close. If you're able to find some combination, you might be able to, but no. 10-0 goes the way of Voxy. You said their name meant voice, maybe with a little extra style, a little Y on the end there. Well, they were absolutely forcing Jinx to listen to them, and they were saying, you got some work to do before the playoffs are coming up. Wow, 10-0. What a way to be able to start things off here for some Brawlhalla action.
Yeah, 10-0, indubitably a beautiful victory coming out in our first of 3 Brawlhalla matchups. We've got 2 more coming at you guys in just a couple of minutes here. Now, if I understand correctly, I'm not going to look at the spreadsheet. I'm going to really hope that I'm right. I believe Jinx will be the player that takes a break for this one. I think it's the player that's on the left that's removed. I don't actually know. I'm gonna look up.
It's somewhere.
Hold on 1 second. It's somewhere.
I know we're getting Wes Craven. I know that they're coming through. That's about all that I care about.
Craven.
So. And they're currently 8-2 as well. So the Eagles, seeing that they flock together in a big way, if this school is able to kind of continue to post up, I feel like we have a very nice top 3 situation. Obviously, we have a lot of players that have been finding success. Did you confirm? Do we know?
Not yet. I'm still looking. I got this. I found where we listed the schools playing, but we haven't listed any players. So I think, we'll find out in a minute regardless. I know that. We're definitely going to be finding out who's going to be brought to the table here in just a moment. But it will be Jinx or Voxy versus blank. They will not play each other again. They will be playing a representative from West Craven Red, as you said. So coming in super exciting. Only 1 letter off of a very famous filmmaker, Wes Craven. May he rest in peace, but exciting regardless.
Also, Wes Anderson, which is completely not the same at all.
No, but I do. But I love them both. I love them both, and isn't that exciting? Wes Anderson, probably one of my favorite directors. I'm a big fan of his films and what he tends to bring to the table. But can Wes Craven make a movie for us today? Can they break that expectation? It looks like Voxy versus Kaizu. Quazu. We'll go Quazu. I think that's more correct. We'll go Quazu versus Voxy here in a head-to-head. Let's see if Quazu's going to be able to bring down somebody who's just tearing through their opposition so far.
Yeah, because that I feel like our biggest measurement and our biggest question mark might have been Jinx, especially with how just prolific they've been across the entirety of the season. Seven has a chance to do something that is very difficult to do no matter what competition you're going into, and that is to be undefeated. It's going to be a lot more movement. It's going to be a lot less damage. You actually have a foil to both players right now. Heavy damage and defense, heavy speed coming out of Quazu. Can that effectively put him on his heels? We get to see if Voxy can receive and if Quazu can deliver.
Preparation on the board. Quazu bringing that bow and arrow to the table. Going to be a lot more mid to long range, I presume, with his close range arrow blast already coming through, making it difficult for Fox to get aggressive on their playstyle. They're not able to line up those easy combos that we saw come out in game number 1. A strong hit comes through there, but unfortunately no follow-up makes it that much harder for Fox to collapse. Quazu really coming out, making a statement early.
There's a reason why you have so much of the speed when you're working with the bow, and as well as they have that kind of in opposite have the hammer. If they decide to ever use some of that, you're creating space, and you're also creating zoning plays that Voxy has to be able to walk into. Now the thing is, they have a much slower legend overall. They have a high damage threshold. So as soon as Quazu gets caught, well, you see the result, and it's looking pretty familiar and similar to what we saw them do to Jinx.
Oh, there it is. Vox had to learn that play style, but unfortunately, as soon as they did, that stock is eliminated in the blink of an eye. Quazu falls 3-2 early on in the game, but luckily plenty of time left to answer, especially if they can just get this, taking no extra credit damage.
Could have a chance here. I mean, because you have that high kind of movement speed overall, Quazu's gonna be playing the hit and run game. A lot of extra kiting. It's just like all my hunters do in World of Warcraft. Shout out to my Beast gang out there, seeing if they can be able to do anything with it. But we've actually changed overall themes, as they do have the cannon, but they're receiving the hammer. So I wonder if Quazu kind of sticks with what they've got. If they change things up, they want to force Voxy into a hole, and they're trying to get some extra damage before they can get a hold of a weapon, but that totality spear comes back.
The spear makes a triumphant return early on. The follow-through just not as aggressive as we want it to be at a time like this. If you are rooting for Vox, you're seeing a little bit of fright, a little bit of fear on the board as the uncertainty continues to grow. But Vox certainly not down yet. Has to slow down that playstyle, has to allow Quazu to make a mistake, or it could cost Vox the matchup. Slow and steady air dodge to spot dodge, hit to hit, blow to blow, nothing on the board in, what, 10 to 15 seconds at this point. There we go, finally a hit.
Oh my goodness, and they're only barely forcing the Voxy to have to chip into some of this Foxfire, because as a Kitsune, they could be able to have some of that extra zoning. As soon as one single hit occurs, Quazu needs to immediately dash out, because Voxy loves to be able to quick combo, and now becomes the hit scheme. They take away the ability for them to successfully pressure right back from getting back onto stage, but you get that kind of combination, all of a sudden Quazu's on the ropes.
Quazu falling early at a pretty pivotal time here. Both players deep in the red. Quazu taken off stage, not able to get that hammer, falls for the bait of the weapon grab. Vox capitalizes off the back of it, puts themselves in the lead once again. Voxy double weapon juggled. He's going to lose one of the spears, gets thrown up for the right side of the stage just long enough for Quazu to summon that bow back to the threshold. Oh, close but no cigar.
Love the dash. Love the ability to at least force Voxy to have to come to you. But, I mean, even with all of the great play that we've seen from that bow, Quazu knows that Voxy is able to read it from a mile away, and eventually as they cut down that space, is so difficult to work with. They do have a nice juggle, forcing them up to the upper blast zone. They're going to go back to the hammer, trying to change everything up, and they swing for the fences. Now, Quazu did limit the damage. They're only into yellow season, so can Voxy survive long enough and do unto them as they did to Jinx just a little bit ago?
Oh, the combo starts up. The follow-through is strong. That may be clean off the stage. The air dodge comes in late. We're in a tied game. Vox has him off stage. Nobody on the follow-up looks for the blast zone hits, but not able to pick it up. The secondary try, still no luck. Quazu one hit from elimination. It's going to be a soft hit from Vox. Quay has the opportunity to turn this around, loses it, and that's the game. Vox barely at the end, able to turn that around. A couple of combos fall short, and they keep that undefeated streak alive and well.
That was nasty. With 7, Voxy was just living on a razor-thin edge, going way off left blast zone and looking like they were trying to fight just basically a Dragon Ball Z fight against Quazu and Yumika. It looked fantastic, and it's another measure of, okay, do you change things? You know that you don't have as much damage, and so it requires so much extra kiting, so much extra movement, and the hit and run whenever you're taking on Vox. But when Vox eventually says, okay, I know your tendency. I know how you want to set up kind of this 1-2-3 Foxfire zone. I'm not going to drop into that. And even when I receive that damage, it ain't the worst thing. So how do you change things? Looks like we're not. It's simply about how you execute going to this the second map.
Execution is going to be name of the game. We're going for the good old-fashioned run back, Voxy v Quazu, and this is interesting because Voxy won the salty run back in their first matchup. Who's to say they can't do it again? But I will give credit that while Jinx kept it close, Quazu kept it within a couple of hits from death. So there is a huge opportunity to turn this around if they're going to be able to play of that caliber. It's all going to come down to the mental and, of course, reading the combo play of Voxy, because while they're very talented, while they're a strong player, there are a couple of repeated combos that we've seen a couple of times in just a few matchups already. Can Quazu catch on to those and take advantage of them?
Looks like that we're also going to kind of a stance priority. Quazu knew that they didn't have as much damage. I mean, it's kind of to that relative obviousness. They were a little bit more speed oriented, so they've pumped up the numbers, seeing if they're gonna be able to pump up the damage. But now Voxy knows they have Quazu equal but opposite, as they do have that cannon trying to be able to catch them as they come into close range. I still love that. Oh. Wait, hold on. They did not recover. My goodness, I thought they were gonna get back to stage.
Well, because they were supposed to. That's why you feel that way. And unfortunately, Vox falls short. It's gonna be the first time we see them eliminated of their own volition, taken down in a disadvantage. This is gonna be really difficult to win. Again, to call back to how close it was last matchup when they had all three.
The key to victory is still being held right in the hands of Quazu. Again, that bow kind of limited them to just long range, and even when they were forcing Voxy to chase them, I mean, this hammer has been much more effective, especially because you have to go in the paint and in the charge and into the hands of the old vest of Voxy, who might be facing their first map loss. Can they recover? They're going to be able to get a quick kick combo, and Quazu going for that finisher actually may have saved them.
Oh, Quazu 3-1 now.
No way.
Vox, an insane slip-up is really going to cost them down the line. This is a Herculean task, and it would be the first time we've seen a player come back from a 1-3 deficit. The combo is strong, and maybe we'll get 1 or 2 off the board if they can keep it up, but I'm really not sure how they're going to be able to pull this out. It's rare we see this in Brawlhalla. We haven't this season at all.
I love the adaptation with Quazu. They knew that they had brought a lot of speed, but then they immediately went to high damage, and they switched over to the hammer, which has at least been able to have equal measure against Voxy. Trying to throw them down. That's exactly where they're going to get buried. Trying to be able to get that meteor strike and the old clutch. A 3-0. Would you believe the first time that Voxy loses a single map this season is being 3-0'd, and now we go to map number 3 to see if they can get the series back.
Yeah, this is going to be fascinating. And I think there was a little bit, now I don't know Voxy, so this is perhaps hypothetical, but it felt very just panicked all of the sudden. That first stock went down. The combos did not make an appearance for the rest of the series. Voxy was very floaty, was very uncertain with the hits they wanted to take. And unfortunately, it does end up costing them that second matchup, as you mentioned, the first of the series. But I assume we're going to be going for the goodest of oldest of saltiest run backs that we've ever seen, likely on Small World's end. This should identify a fire beneath Voxy, and I think they're really going to come out swinging like we have not seen before.
All right. Ooh, okay, so not Small World's End. All right. We're going right back from whence we came and what we started at the beginning of this entire Brawlhalla broadcast.
The beginning.
The beginning. Right back to chapter 1. Actually, you know what? What do they call it? The prologue? Actually, you know what? They're going to the author's footnote. It says,
wow.
Thanks for reading.
The dedication of the book is being played right now. I mean, we've got Vox going in early here, taking a lot of damage, losing that lead, but when you've both got the same amount of stocks on the board, that damage lead isn't as critical as it may look, but Vox needs to land any move. All right, there we go. There's a little bit of action on the board. They need to get back into that comfortability, back into that safe play, because I'm sure the mental is a little bit shaken after a game like that. You know, you don't want to lose yourself so close to the end of a season like this, and I think Vox really wants to make up for that fumble because it ended up costing them a near-perfect season.
Voxy, their school, by the way, their mascot is the Spiders. If there's ever something that a spider can do, is to defend its web, and they have an invader that has been finding themselves stuck around the perimeter, and they need to go bind them up and have themselves a nice snack. Good uppercut to be able to get back to stage. They're going to employ that cannon instead of just going for direct CQC battling. It now becomes a distance fight. Cannon to bow. See you later as they are shot away.
Vox finally getting the opportunity to continue striking, playing that hyper-aggression that we talk about so consistently. They bring it to the table, they take the lead, but can they hold it is the question. Already so deep in the red of that first stock. It's going to be a difficult situation to turn around, but Quay should have plenty of time to do so. Losing one stock does not make or break the game, even though the last game we watched does tell a different story.
And so far, there's a ton of extra bonus damage. Voxy, for all intents and purposes, is just straight up winning this game by sticking away from any contact points that Quazu might be able to get. And you see Quazu kind of running scared. They want to be able to get that first contact just to be able to get another combo. But it's Voxy that is just forcing them to stay back. They hide behind their Foxfire, and as soon as they get underneath them, Quazu burns through every single one of their jumps. Everybody gets some damage. That one seems like it was written in the stars. Quazu actually did a pretty decent job considering Voxy was staying basically an arm's length away to not get caught in any of the extra crossfire.
2-2, but Quazu, as you mentioned, has taken so much extra credit damage. They're doing an okay job bringing Vox back into the fray, but Vox is a lead that they're certainly not going to want to be giving up at a time like this. I'm really not sure if they're going to. A slow move isn't going to be able to find damage there as a spot dodge from Quay keeps them up and running, but if Vox can take this in the next 2 to 3 hits, they'll be an entire stock in the lead, and that'll make it very difficult for Quazu to come back.
Trying to play for some chip damage off of the Foxfire, forcing them to come into it, but you have that massive cannon shot. That is the second time that a stock has been taken out. So Voxy playing from the comeback. They had the first map, and then Quazu was reading them like a pamphlet at the doctor's office, and they were given extra crayons to draw between the words. Voxy has a lot of extra health to be able to work with, and Quazu doesn't have a lot of time to try to have to deal with that before Voxy starts to get some extra damage.
And I mean, I've got to give credit to Voxy here because that slow burn rocket move, we didn't see that at all in the Jinx matchup or in the first matchup against Quazu, but they lost. They had the ability to adapt and change their playstyle that quickly, and it's made it that difficult for Quazu to answer out early on. 2-1 stock differential here. Quazu really starting to fumble a little bit. The hammer comes out. The flame is there. Vox jumps into it. The hammer upswing is going to be able to find a bit more. But I mean, Vox isn't going to continue to fall for it. Quazu needs something else if they even get the chance. A beautiful, near flawless combo throws them into the blast zone and opens up the door for Vox to walk away with a victory. There it is. GG on the board. Voxy winning both their series here today.
They may not be ultra perfect by winning every single one of the best of 3, but they went undefeated in every single series overall across the entirety of this VESL season.
Which is significantly more important as well.
Yes, it really is.
Which is significantly more important that you went undefeated across every series that we saw, not just each game that you played. Losing one, by the way, that's still better than everybody else we've seen compete in Brawlhalla so far. So, I mean, a very impressive record up to that point. But now, 2 players that took Voxy to the brink of extinction, gonna go head-to-head themselves. Quazu versus Jinx. This is gonna be a bloodbath.
I do wonder if because both these players, I think you might agree, play very similarly because, I mean, Jinx obviously wants to be able to play with quick combinations in mind as well as a change-up of positioning from the Rocket Lance. And they also kind of go for that high speed, high maneuverability, high dexterity style stance. And Quazu, obviously, depending on if they decide to stick with the Kitsune, they have the exact same thing. In fact, I think they're even faster, but a little bit lower damage. So some of that may come into play, depending on if we see what a Scarlet versus a Yumiko. So we go into our third match, and both these players, if there's anyone that you want to pick, I would kind of hinder towards Yumiko because, or rather towards Quazu rather, going into this because they were able to take that to a third. They were able to find that second map win.
Well, it's tough. It's tough to justify because the SD does play a major part in the sense that, you know, they lost their energy. They lose that stock early in Quazu. You have to give credit, regardless of win or loss, did phenomenal capitalizing on that moment, which is how they're able to find that victory. But these two going head to head, all SDs aside, I really do not know which way I would tip my hat into this circumstance. I think I just have Jinx bias because this is my 4th week seeing them. It's a player I'm much more familiar with, and I love repeated players more than almost anything else. I love seeing players thrive and get better week after week, but if anybody's going to give Jinx a run for their money, I think Quazu's absolutely one of the top runners to do so.
I mean, Jinx is going to have a lot of extra damage. We saw nearly as much as that, but they actually kind of tilt the favor in the damage column over the 7 that was being rocked by Vox, and then you sacrifice a bit of that extra defense to be able to find that. So kind of glass cannon to that degree is still the stick and the move concept off of Quazu with this Yumiko, but they go to the other side of things. So we started with game number 1. 2 players looking for their first dub.
Oh, that is crazy, huh? They both lost to... Yeah, okay, so both these players looking for their first dub of the night. The good news is one of them guaranteed to walk away with a victory after this series. It is going to be that best of 3 that we've seen time and time again. And Quazu already may have found that first stock. The grab into down throw, into understage. I don't think Jinx can get back in time. Punish after punish after punish. Quazu able to find that first stock.
That's huge. All right, setting the stage very, very early. Quazu looks like they're running with a little bit of extra gas in the tank, but that was also Jinx that was trying to meet them hammer to hammer, seeing what they would do with it. Now, Jinx hasn't had to deal with the fact that their rocket lance may actually guide them into a bad pathway with all the extra foxfire that's going to be put up. So yeah. Quazu's going to start using that, a little bit of extra kind of tempering, depending on how Jinx wants to kind of move along the stage. But they don't even let him pick up a weapon, so Quazu's kind of left without.
Quazu, no weapon on the board. That's exactly how Jinx tends to play circumstances like this. They love to, what's it called? Disarm, that's the one. They love to disarm their opponent. Sorry, it took me a sec. They had to disarm their opponent, and then they capitalize on that hyper aggression, that lack of weapon, that lack of mobility and movement to find the stock that they're looking for, and they were able to find that first one with a little bit of extra effort. But Quazu has that hammer back in hand, hammer v hammer matchup. Both players, Jinx just ever so slightly in a deficit, but plenty of opportunity to turn that around. Up and under the lanterns, able to find a lot of additional damage. Up throw is going to come through with the up air in the pocket as well. The down air should be able to find Quazu. We're going to need a second one, though, to guarantee that stock, and there it is. The hammer throw off to the back left of stage puts Jinx in the lead 2-1.
Love the side swipe grab to be able to get them swung from off of that side of stage and then all the way towards that left side blast zone. So Jinx has stolen out the lead away from Quazu, and even with them having to go direct into hammer, now Quazu is going to have to start getting creative, especially with the way they use that foxfire. But they actually, with this bow, it has not been shown yet to Jinx. They've been playing a lot more into the hammer, and I don't know if they're actually going to have some better favor with this because of the distance aim and the way that you want to work. So much of that feels like a rocket lance is just basically its foil and its opposite. So they go right back to hammer, and they're going to try and some extra damage, but is Jinx just too high and above?
Oh. Well, Jinx gets sent below. As you say that there, Jinx is going to be eliminated pretty early on with that second stock available. So both players down to that third and final stock. It's going to be as close can be, as we predicted. I mean, these two really coming out, playing unbelievable aggression in every matchup so far. And you got to respect the ability to keep going 3 matchups in a row like this, or nearly 3 in a row. Really makes it difficult to walk away. Powerful, but they're playing full throttle all the way till the end. Jinx just 1 hit away. They can find the back air here. Quay is definitely going to be eliminated. They go for the slow charge, not able to find it. Quay capitalizes off the back, gets the hammer back online. This is scary, though. You're playing out of a massive deficit if you're Quazu.
That slow charge was going to be so powerful. If you're Jinx, you got to get away from this. They actually
there it is.
Oh, one good turn deserves another. They throw down the hammer, thinking they were able to find him, but that quick dodge out left, and then they just catch him on the tip of the spear, sending him skyward, and give him a great look at the stage below where Jinx was able to stand victorious.
Gonna go immediately back into that run back scenario. These players looking for that opportunity. Jinx now just 1 away from finding a victory here tonight. Quazu 1 away from going undefeated. You have to assume that it's going to light a fire beneath them like we have never seen before, but there is only one way to find out after all.
3, 2, all right, go to map number 2. Can Jinx get themselves back in order? Can the Mavericks of Mallard Creek feel good about Jinx coming home with a dub? After seeing the first one go 0-2, they would love for this one to go 2-0. West Craven, the Eagles, they want Quazu to find some success. They were able to bring it so deep against a player that was basically undefeated. Not even basically, definitely was for the majority of the season. So we go right back to a lot of extra hammer play, and it's neat to see how Quazu kind of elucidates us with this, because they use that foxfire every now and then just to force Jinx to kind of slow down.
And I think that's smart, right? Because we talk about so often how Jinx loves that up-close aggression. It's like the staple of Jinx playing here on the VESL stream as often as they have. If they get hyper-aggressive, they get up-close and personal. And if you've got an ability that disrupts that up-close personality, it's really going to force Jinx to adapt in the moment, which I think is why that last matchup was as close as it was, because Jinx really had to slow down their level of play.
we're right back in that lower left blast zone. That's exactly what we've seen before. And Quazu recognizes that there's just no way for them to be able to recover. So they toss that hammer and they say, shucks, I guess next time. So they get Jinx at least disarmed, and that's kind of where we stand. Jinx is going to be chasing down their own hammer. We go right back to bow play. In difference to what we saw earlier for Quazu when they were rocking the bow, they did not have great success against that rocket lance, but they've abandoned all of that play. They've decided it is hammer, 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 hammer time.
It is hammer time through and through, and they're going to try to capitalize on that hyper aggression, looking for that opportunity to strike. Jinx, that third stock still online. They want to get even more extra credit, and even though you have to give credit, they've actually found a lot of damage on Quazu with that second stock. Oh, I'm scared. Yeah, okay, there it is. Jinx is going to lose that third stock finally, the first stock finally. Quazu into the yellow here, not quite the red like Jinx wanted, but there's still that space to work with, and I think that's exactly what Jinx likes.
That was a difficult one. They were going for that long charge to be able to get themselves back up to stage, but as soon as they tossed off the weapon, it just completely disrupted them. Now, Quazu again, they go over towards the trade of the bow, and this has just not found as much value as they had before. Again, it's kind of gimmicky, depending on if you find all that extra distance. They know that it really kind of plays into the theme that is this Yumiko, but it has not rendered the same results. Now, Jinx finding second stock. Quazu is one off from being 0-2 in series play on the night, and Jinx would love to turn this into a 50-50 night.
They want to see that 50-50 on the board. It's a terrifying time, though, to try and look for it, as things are very close, but unfortunately close just ain't gonna cut it. Jinx able to find that and be our third victor here in our final Brawlhalla best of 3. A quick night for Brawlhalla, but a very powerful one. These players really not pulling a single punch all the way through.
That was a tough one there for Quazu, because they looked like they were trying to find the same pressure, and it looks like they just kind of got zone baited to go and chase out Jinx on that lower right side of the stage. So you know what? That's how the cookie crumbles. That's how they end up falling out. But for some of you out there, make sure that you put VESL in the chat. But there's a giveaway that's coming up. So drum roll, please, as I try not to slap my mic around. Let's figure out who it's gonna be, and
Napkin Dispenser.
Let's go!
Big congratulations, Napkin Dispenser, on being our second of 7 giveaway winners. And folks, if you're watching this video, gosh, I want to win a giveaway. Get in chat. That is literally what the 7th giveaway is all about. Be active, be a participant, and be excited, because we've got Marvel Rivals and Valorant coming at you in just a couple of minutes.
Who can guess their Marvel Rivals character first? Is my character a tank?
Nope. Is my character an Avenger?
Yes. Is my character a mutant?
Yes. Is my character's primary fire a ranger?
No. Can my character fly?
Nope. Is my character Captain America?
Yeah, yes. Your character is Captain America.
Just for them.
Is my character Wolverine?
She's a mutant!
He's going to blind rank 6 Marvel Rival characters. For our first one, we got Black Panther.
Ooh, Black Panther, controversial, but I'm putting him straight at E. Yeah, I hate him. I can't lie. Like, you all can think what you want of Black Panther, but he deserves to be at the bottom.
Next, we have Mr. Fantastic.
Ooh, Mr. Fantastic gets a lot of love, but a lot of hate from this guy, D, right there. Yeah, I'm not liking my choices so far.
Following it up, we have Invisible Woman.
Invisible Woman is an easy A. She has been a phenomenal healer, and the only one I think that rivals Luna.
Next, we have Jeff.
C tier, and it's only because I put Black Panther at E. My boy Jeff, I'm tired of you throwing me off the map. Like, this is not fun, this is not cool, stop it.
All right, and now we have Magic.
Magic is B, for sure. I'm fine with that. She's not the best DPS, not the worst, but she's still got like a fun kit to her, so yeah, B makes sense.
For our last character, we have Captain America.
See, listen, I'm a tank guy, I'm a Vanguard guy anyway, so S tier from Mr. Captain America, I'll take it. I'm actually fine with this. I don't think I'd change much other than putting Jeff way lower on the tier list if I could.
Guess Who Gaming Edition.
Is your character in Smash?
Yes.
I already got you.
Wait, how many characters in Smash? Oh my. What? Yikes, okay. Is your character in Overwatch?
Yes.
Alright.
Is your character a male?
Yes. Does your character have any white hair?
Yes. Okay, does your character have something on his head? It's not a hat, it could be a helmet, it could be a headband.
Nope, my boy is
Nothing.
going full hair locks.
Yeah.
Is your character have anything covering their eyes?
Yes.
Yes.
Is your character Shulk?
No. Does your character have a hood?
Yes. Is your character Link?
How'd you get that?
Is it right?
Yes. Is your
Okay.
character Anna?
Yes, you scared me that I got it wrong.
I'll allow you to go first.
Is my character from Smash?
Nope. Is my character from Smash?
Maybe.
It's valid. It's valid.
Is it from Valorant?
Yep. Does this character's name start with the first half, with a letter from the first half of the alphabet?
Yes. Okay, so it's from Valorant. Is the agent, do they heal themselves?
No. Is my character male?
What is that?
Okay. Well, that narrows it down.
Is my agent a duelist?
I'm fairly certain no. Is my character Kirby?
Maybe.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, that's a guess. I'm gonna say KO.
No. Brimstone. I just picked an Overwatch character, and you have 5 guesses to figure out who it is.
Ooh, roles first. Is it DPS?
It is not.
Is it a support?
It is a support.
Okay. Support, is it a female?
It is not a female.
Not a female. That's
Only
3
2 questions.
Okay, Lucio, Baptiste, Zenyatta.
2 questions.
Do they have some kind of movement ability?
They do not.
So Zenyatta is my only person that I'm thinking right now. Is it Zenyatta?
It is Zenyatta.
We're guessing the Marvel Rivals character. Can you?
Lunas, no.
Penny?
Do you like tanks?
Do you like tank is a yes or no question?
That is a yes or no
It
question.
doesn't-
Do you
it
like
doesn't-
tanks?
Are they a human? That's a good question. That's a good question.
How many non-humans are in the game?
A lot. Like Thor's not a human. He's Asgardian. Hela's not a human. She's a goddess. Storm's a goddess. Oh,
He got me there. He got me there.
Rain. Do they use both hands when they primary fire? Yeah, true.
Yeah,
But she uses
close.
both hands.
Keep that in, keep that in, keep that in.
Alright.
Is it Psylocke?
Is this Spider-Man? Dude, I'm like, oh my god, it's Groot.
Star-Lord.
I think this shouldn't be this hard. Oh my god, is it Hulk?
I think all the tanks are like eliminated.
No, they're not actually. It's so obvious. It's actually like so obvious. It's so obvious.
Is
Oh
it?
my god, yes.
He got it.
It's strange. Oh my god, is it Iron Man? Oh my god.
He's gonna blind rank 6 Marvel Rivals characters. For number 1, we have Moon Knight.
Oh, okay. I don't play Moon Knight, but this ultimate, you get it in like 5 seconds. I'm just gonna go B. It's not. It's alright.
I would say that's probably a good ranking for him, especially those
Yeah.
onks. They wipe the floor. Next, we have Penny Parker.
I don't like Penny. I think she's kind of meh. I mean, like dives. Eh, that's crazy. Like Groot, just play Groot. I'm not gonna put last. I feel like it's gonna be a really bad one, but it's down there.
Next, we have Psylocke.
Oh, I'm really torn between, is it above Moon Knight or below Moon Knight? And I think I'm gonna have to go above.
Okay,
Yeah.
might be controversial.
I don't know.
I've seen Psylocke wipe some teams, but I've also seen Moon Knight demolish the backline
I think
with his onks.
I definitely do think Psylocke has like cool abilities. But Moon Knight, you know, you just do a little bit.
Next, we have Mantis.
To be honest, I don't really know too much about Mantis. Okay, I'm gonna put C, green for green. It's
Green
not the
for
worst. Mantis is pretty good as a healer. I'll take a Mantis.
For our 5th character, we have Squirrel Girl.
I'm just gonna. Yeah, well, I mean, you got Moon Knight and Psylocke up here, so it's just like definitely prefer those two, and I only have S. So.
All right, so that means automatically in S tier,
Who do we have?
you're putting Star-Lord.
Okay, honestly, I'll take it. Star-Lord's pretty good. Honestly, not a bad list.
So this is our final list. Comment down below what you think you would rank these characters in. Does your character have visible hair?
Yes. Does your have any blue?
Yes.
Well, Kirby's like little pupil is blue. Well.
Is your character wearing some form of hat or headwear?
No. Is your character from Valorant?
Nope. Does your character have white hair?
Yeah. Are they tall? Taller than Mario?
No. Does your character have some sort of eyepiece?
No. Can you see their ears? Yes.
Is your character Jet?
Yes. Is your character Sonic?
No. Fox.
Why did I put Fox down?
Who can guess their Marvel character first? Is it a woman?
No. Is my character a tank?
No. Is your character a tank?
No. Is my character a support?
Yeah. Is my character a DPS?
Yes. Is my character a human?
Not human. Is my character human?
Yes. Is my character an animal?
No. Is my character an animal?
No. Is my character Mantis?
Nope. Is my character moon related?
No.
Is my character Loki? No. Does my character have armor?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, is my character Adam Warlock? Yes. Is my character Namor?
No.
Fantastic, ain't it? All right.
Let's see who can guess their Marvel character first.
Is my character a duelist?
Yes. Are they a tank?
No. Is my character human, not including mutant?
Yeah. Is my character a male?
No. Are they melee?
No. Are they a support?
They're not a support. Is my character male?
Yeah. Do they use a weapon?
No. Do they have a team up with a support character?
No. All right, I'm gonna just YOLO this. Is my character Storm?
Nope.
Ah, GG.
Is it Hawkeye?
Yes. Is mine Witch?
It is Scarlet Witch, yeah.
Is your character wearing headwear?
No.
Is your character above the age of 25? I would assume yes.
Okay.
So Zarya, right?
Hey. Nope. Hey.
Does your character have a serious facial expression?
No.
Is your character big? I do believe he's definitely one of them. Oh, I just said he. Is your character blonde? Yes. No way.
Oh.
Is your character from Valorant? No. 4-3. Is your character Mercy?
No.
Is your character's name more than 2 syllables? Yes, actually. Is your character Zelda? No. What? Is your character Captain Falcon? Are you looking at us? You do something about it. Yes, it is. God. Is your character Shulk? It is. Double your win rate in Valorant using this one stim trick. Yeah, don't be like that guy. When you peek an angle, your movement input is sent to the server, which takes time to get there. This is how Peeker's Advantage works. Let's say you're peeking an angle and your opponent here is holding it like their DoorDasher just arrived. Once your movement is sent to the server, it then has to be sent to your opponent's client, which takes even more time. Meaning you experience your own movement instantly while Mr. AFK over here has to wait on the information from the server. This means that you get to see them before they get to see you. The amount of time your advantage lasts is equal to half of your ping plus half of your opponent's ping, since ping measures a round trip from client to server. So here you get to see Mr. No Time to Cook 48 milliseconds early. Your reaction time is only about 200 milliseconds, so this is a fantastic advantage to have in your back pocket. So how do you use it? When you know somebody is likely around the corner, go ahead and prep your brain and then move into the angle with speed. If you move slowly, they're gonna see your shoulder way before your head, nullifying the advantage. And if you know somebody is gonna peek you, just counter peek them instead and cancel out the effect, which is how you...
Okay. Is your character male?
No. Does your character have blue in the picture?
Yes.
Okay, well, there's a lot of characters standing.
Does your character have green?
Mm-hmm.
They do.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no. This isn't good, Scoob. Is your character from Overwatch?
No. Does your character have healing properties?
No. Oh, man. This is an even distribution between Valorant and Smash Bros. Is it Marth?
No.
Oh, why would I do it such an impulsive move like that?
Does your character happen to be Killjoy?
Yeah. Yeah. Ness.
No. 'Twas Mario.
Okay, now that's a crazy move. Nobody picks Mario.
We're gonna guess the Marvel Rivals character. Can you? Is it a support?
Do they use animals in their kit?
Do they have any stones?
Can they traverse on the walls?
Is it Spider-Man?
Are they a melee character?
Penny. Okay, I give up. 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 I guess Penny's also not a melee character.
Is it Iron Fist?
Does your character have a light hair color?
I don't know.
I would consider that as a no.
Okay.
Is your character a Valorant agent?
No. I'm not cooking anything right now, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna say use an element.
No, don't use an element. Does your character have a non-traditional hair color?
No. Is your character female?
Yes.
Okay. I think I might know.
Does your character have any blue in the picture?
Yes.
Is it?
Is your character Fade?
No.
I thought I was him. I am not him.
Is your character a male?
No. Raise?
No.
Okay.
Okay, I might cry. I'm going.
All right. Does your character look like they probably sitting in school reading books?
I don't think so.
They don't look studious?
They don't look studious. Is your character old?
No. Is that Anna?
No. I think you might be cooked. I think you might be a little cooked. Daisy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the one I was gonna put down to.
Wait, so is your character Zero Suit Sim?
Yep. Wait, did we tie again?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Who can guess their Marvel Rivals character first? Is my character wearing a mask?
Yes.
Okay.
Is my character a male?
Yes. Does my character gain overshield?
I will say no. Is my character DPS?
Nope. Is my character Iron Man?
Nope. Is my character tank?
Yes. Is my character's face covered?
Semi. Is my character Penny Parker?
No. What was your first question?
Is my character
Is my character a female?
Yes.
Okay.
Is my character Captain America?
Is my character Scarlet Witch?
No.
All right.
Is my character Hulk?
Yeah. All right. Is it Psylocke?
No.
All right, I'm not.
Who can guess their Marvel rival character first?
Is my character a support?
Yes. Is my character male?
No. Ooh, why am I thinking like Invisible Woman? Is my character have one of them broken defensive ults?
A health regen type ultimate?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think that was good. I think I'm cooked.
Is my character ranged?
Yeah. Are they blonde?
Is my character a strategist?
No. Is my character Invis?
Psylocke?
No. Oh, then
Blind ranking Apex characters with Zephyr. We have Gibraltar.
Oh, all right. I used to be a Gibby main, but I don't think the man sells much anymore. I'm putting him in 4. Someone's gonna hate me for that.
Hey, listen, you gotta put it where you believe, right? All right, next up is Fuse.
Oh, sorry guys. He's not a fan favorite. I'm doing this for me. He's my main. He's gotta go number 1.
Number 1 right off the rip. Hey, you, subscribe. Here's gonna be a fan favorite, Octane.
I do think there are some better picks out there. I think Octane's super fun, but I'm gonna put him in 3.
That's a safe bet. That's a safe bet. But knowing what's coming up, I don't know. Caustic.
You know what? Actually, I'm okay. I left room for myself. He's straight into 5. Everyone hates this man.
And last up, you have Watson.
You know what? I think we could give some love over to Watson. I think 2nd is a nice place. She's cute. She's lovely. She's a fan favorite.
Let's see who can guess their Marvel character first. Is my character female?
No. Do they have the body shape of a human?
Yes. Is my character a god?
No. Does my character a duelist?
They are a duelist. Are they an alien?
No. Does my character have like superpowers?
Yes. Is my character ranged?
Yeah. Let's flip it, guys. Is my character melee?
Yes.
Oh, I'm thinking Wolverine. Oh.
Is he a duelist?
No. We got Magic, Spider-Man, Wolf. Hopefully I'm not missing any melees though. Is my character
Are they a Vanguard?
Yeah. Is their main color yellow?
Yes.
Oh.
I gotta go with my gut. Is it Doctor Strange?
No.
Really?
Is my character Wolf?
No, it's Wolverine. No, I'm just kidding. It is Wolverine. I gotta get my redemption. Is it Magneto? Yeah.
I'm picking an Apex Legends character. This guy has 5 questions to guess who it is.
Does your character have some kind of movement ability?
He or she.
Oh, give me a little hint there.
He or she do, yes.
Do they have an ability that damages enemies?
They do.
They do.
Don't forget to like and subscribe while he's sitting here thinking.
Is your character a he?
He is.
I don't know why I asked that, but I just wanted to confirm because you did give me a little hint, so I just wanted to double check.
Yeah.
Does your character have 5 or less letters in the name?
Yes, they do.
I'm thinking Fuse. I think he has a damaging ability. The logo thing when you pick the character. Is it like the 3 bullets?
Yes, it is.
Is your character Fuse?
My character's Fuse. Yep. I thought he'd be stuck on the movement thing.
I'll be going first this time.
Okay.
My character have hair that is longer than their shoulder.
No.
Okay. Could be a hairless baby.
Do they have red on them? Is it primary color?
No.
No, okay.
Is my character a non-human?
I have no idea. He's human. Is my character a human?
You would consider them human, but like more accurately. No, not really.
She didn't know immediately if my character was human or not. So they gotta look pretty freaking weird. Is my character from Overwatch?
Yes.
Oh, calm down. It's gotta be the ninja guy. Greninja? That is a Pokemon. Anyway, go ahead.
Is it from Smash?
Yep. Is my guy the green ninja? Talking about Genji.
Yeah. Dude, there's so many characters.
What's that supposed
Was it
to be?
Donkey Kong?
No.
Who can guess their Marvel rival?
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Week 6 Thursday Night Lights. I'm still Septilance, joined by Hail Monkey Man. We're going to be jumping into Battle Cars in just a couple of minutes here. Robocars, excuse me. I'm very excited to be doing so. But before we do that, is it a giveaway after, actually? So the Robocar matches do go first.
Yeah, you know what? We get you excited. The money, but no. How about the science? That's going to be coming up here soon. We're going to be seeing some Robocars. We had mentioned it a little bit before, but we're going to be telling you all about it right now. As you know, there's 3 locations and contestants are trying to attempt to get their car programmed to find them. GeoGuessr. Are you a big GeoGuessr knower? Are you big about finding things on the map there?
I play it with my friends very casually. I wouldn't say I'm good at it, but like I do participate in it. I do like GeoGuessr. I do think it's very fun.
Well, we're going to be looking for 3 specific locations for each of these matchups. They're going to be going over to the Kennedy Space Center. They're going to go to the Lick Observatory and then NC State's Lake Wheeler Road Field Lab. These are really cool places, especially for the Kennedy Space Center because it is NASA's primary launch center. I get to see a lot of this, especially because from where I work, and I'm not telling you, it utilizes it for a lot of the payloads that go up into, deep space. For the Lick Observatory, they also use this. It's run by University of California as a major center for astronomical research and education. And then for NC State's Lake Wheeler Road Field Lab, this is a pretty fun one because the Agricultural Research Station connects science, engineering, and technology to real-world food and farming challenges. So this is pretty cool as they're able to find all this with their little Robocars.
Yeah, and let's just jump right into it. Let's see the space that grows between these winners and not-so-winners. Now, we've got Cabarrus up against the VESL staff. As they had that bye, we still wanted to include them, give them the opportunity to see how well they can coach this. So let's see Kennedy Space Center. Oh, wow. Very good. Okay, a very strong start. Lick Observatory. Not as good. Apparently good enough.
Oh, they got the wheel. All right.
I see. And so if any part is in that circle, it counts.
What is happening?
The VESL staff is doing their best. Whoa!
What?
And it's pretty darn good. They fooled us. They had us.
Yeah, trying to drift their way. All right, that's gonna be a fat 30. Do we tie for our first one? They're gonna try and crab shuffle.
Hey! What? Hey! Yeah! Get out of here! Get out of here! They're not allowed to do that. I was gonna throw a whole fit, but I don't have to. Now, okay, school v school, Hugh High versus Philip O'Berry.
Can we talk about the fact that that guy was as large as the United States? He just came out of
possibly bigger.
All right, they got the first one. So we can get to Lick Observatory. Nice plus 30. Can they make the perfect run? Oh, they got the bumper in there, so they got a fat 90.
Oh, the 10 on the board for Philip O'Berry, but a 40 so far. Unfortunately, it's not going to be 90 regardless. Oh! Had it and lost it.
Well, that means that Philip O'Berry was defeated, and they won't have the repeat between drones and cars. We're going to go to Kearns Academy and Riverside High, Durham. Pirates!
Oh, no!
What? Just all of Oklahoma and Kansas are gone!
I hate when that... Again! I hate when that happens. I've only been to that area of the country once, but I don't remember a giant metal plate.
I mean, you might not have seen it because the Earth is flat.
Missed it. So. I see. Maybe I missed it for sure. Olympic High versus Durham to wrap things up? Question mark? Or is there one more? I've lost track, to be honest.
I think. Well, we got 1, 2. I think this is match number 3.
Okay, so we got one more after this. No, this is the last one. Confirmation confirmed. This is the last one. We got 30, a fat 0, and then 20. So 50 on the board. Very achievable here for Durham. Unless they explode.
That's unfortunate.
Oh, no!
All right, well,
that's it!
You know what? Sometimes when your car explodes, you have to just call insurance and you have to pack it up for a day. So that means from our previous top 4 that were in the drone side of STEM, there's only one team that's actually looking for a possible repeat, and that's from out of the semifinals that'll be coming up, and that is Olympics. So they've got a chance to have a twofer going to states.
could be a big opportunity to go to states. We had a couple of winners there. And speaking of winners, let's celebrate giveaway winner number 3. Let's see who that may be. Lestrade! Oh my goodness, this is another STEM kid. I love this. This is another kid. I don't think I've ever said their gamer tag the same or correctly at all. Los Trailus is what I always say. Could be something else. Lost Railus. I don't know. But regardless, they're a winner. And that's the important part. So big congratulations. Please get in touch with a VESL contact to get that gift card ASAP.
And I would have said like Lostralis. I don't know.
I think that's how I used to say it. I just freestyle it every week.
Yours is really cool though. It's you have like some southern sweet Spanish slang that kind of.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I make it more Spanish than it's supposed to be, but I'll find out when that kid makes it to States and they go, "Hey, something you've never said my name right ever."
Or they're one of those kids that doesn't correct me until it's their last year in the program, and then they go, "By the way, you've never said my gamer tag once."
Just to be like, why?
Ever.
Why?
It happens.
Tell me.
It happens so often. Honestly, it happens so often, but. Luckily, they are still a winner, regardless of how much I butcher their name. Now, going into Valorant here, we've got Roberson High School Blue versus Collaborative College for Technology Black. Both teams can be sitting at 3-2. So somebody breaks even here. Somebody does bump up to the 4-2, which it's so silly. It's only one differential. It sounds so much better than 3-2.
It really does. And considering the 30 plus teams that we've had across the entirety of this competition, both these teams are actually sitting in that upper side of the middle third, lower side of the upper third. So to be able to make that little bit of a jump is kind of huge, considering how very tight knit everything towards the top continues to be, especially with Valorant. I believe that we're also going over to Bind. So a very measured map. I've pretty much seen it all, even when they made it for Wide Joy for, I think that was now a year and a half or 2 years ago at this point. And there's another high school competition that I also like to do up in Pennsylvania. It is the most picked map in their Division 1 play. Not at all surprised we're seeing it in this upper division of play. Yeah.
That's not surprising at all. Bind, my second favorite map in the game behind Split. I like those claustrophobic maps. I like those more intense maps. I'm a Raze player particularly often. Sky as well, and both those ladies do very well on those maps. So I'm excited to see how these players are going to be bringing Bind to the table. I'm curious if we're going to be seeing, I think you and I talked about this way back in week 1, kind of old meta versus new meta, because at the high school level, they tend to play just what they're comfortable with. So there may be no meta, regardless of what's going to be happening, though. I'm excited to jump into it. I hope the teams will be ready in just a couple of minutes.
And I feel like some of that is also still being redefined and designed, because obviously Waylay has been brought up as a new agent. Did you get see any Waylay last week? I wasn't at the table.
No, Waylay was not tournament viable last week.
Got it. Okay. All
so
right.
If we do see a Waylay, this is the first time we even could.
That'd be a wild time, because there's still a lot to learn. They're basically Jet on steroids along with a little bit of extra Phoenix. I don't think that's going to be happening, though, as we go into this here first. Looks like we're floating a double initiator, double duelist with an Astra. That's kind of a fun comp. No Senti, no problem, says the defense.
No Senti, no problem worries me a little. It's like I'm a little anxious, but you don't need a Sentinel to win Bind. It just really helps. I think it's definitely possible to play with an up-close, hyper-aggressive playstyle. Now, I've seen Reyna currently banned in a lot of competitive play right now, so I'm surprised to see that she's not going to be banned here. We see they're going to be going for it on the attacking side, and with the Breach and Tejo in pocket, I mean, it is going to be just aggression city from our attacking team. They're going to try to win this in the first half.
See if they'll be able to get there, just kind of continuously move. And the biggest thing that definitely has come to the table, if you have a table, sorry, not a table, a table. Then if I have a table, then I have a computer on it. That's kind of what's living right now.
But I couldn't have said it better.
If you have Tejo, you're gonna have a Swedish man. You're gonna have a Breach. That loud combination, because they match up so well between their cooldowns for their signature ability, has been paying dividends for every time that you want to bring that composition in. Key difference here, we're seeing a Sage, and that's just to kind of support the overheals that you have for their Reyna. Seeing what we get kind of out of this. On the other side, though, I'm like, this is neat, but will the no Sentinel defense be a stellar start for the Rams?
That's what I'm worried about. Like, if you're starting on attack, I'm a little less worried about it, but having no Sentinel and you're starting on the defensive side, two difficult things to work against. The only smokes you even have are Astra Stars, so that is really concerning. I think retake is going to be really difficult for Roberson High, and I think CCC Black may have a pretty easy run of things if they just stick to the play style that their composition suggests they will.
But obviously, I mean, I think their retake to that kind of that defense, you definitely have a lot of power that you can bring to the table, considering that you have those paint shells. They're going to run straight into the fray. It's going to be an immediate trade, as they at least have mixture that gets rid of Taco. Actually, that was a trade on 2 different fronts, because you won one from kind of deep into hookah. Now Mixture's taking that fight, and Godly Vibes is going to use that aftershock to try and get them some separation, but Utopia was ready for it.
Oh, there it is. Roberson High, blue. Roberson, that's what I said. They are going to be 3 players still standing 1-0 on the board. So I'm not going to lie. I don't know if the team had much to do with that. I think CCT just didn't use any utility. Smile.
Yeah, they just hard peeked.
We saw one Tejo util, and then everybody died.
Yeah, one good old stealth drone. I think I didn't mention this 2 weeks ago. I want that little drone. I want him as like a figurine. I would love him on my desk.
You have mentioned this. You have mentioned this.
I'm such a robotics nerd. Like, come on. Like, I played so much Titanfall. BT, my love. Please, let's get some of that. But CCT, the Dragons will be full saving out. The Pathfinder will see Tejo, and he takes a little stun into that Colombian vest.
Hey, everybody's alive longer than they were in the pistol round. That's good news.
Dang.
Oh, a little bit of damage on the board there, but a headshot wallbang. 1 HP in a dream. Utopia from the wine swing. Able to take that Reyna out of the equation early. 5-4 advantage for Roberson High. Skinny Pop going to be able to find that Tejo standing in the smoke.
Fade away.
You got to hit your shots, though.
I mean, Utopia's trying to do much of that, but Jitter's able to get the job done. Regardless, you get at least a gun or 2 off the board. It's some level of success. Marucha, they're chilling here in... Okay, they have the ability to also get a heal, but they're just not going to be given a chance. Jumi clears him off the board, and that's 2 guns off, but Roberson will find a second round.
Jumi holding teleporter's crazy. I would not have expected that to happen. We're at that stage. You get taken down in the blink of an eye, and unfortunately is going to end up costing you a second round. But the good news is you're technically supposed to lose that round. After losing the first round, the second round loss is statistically what we expect to see at a time like this. So these players are going to be not too worried yet. This round, however, though, if CCT Black loses this one, things could be a bit more decisive against them.
Considering that this is a bonus into or across from a bye, if this one goes sideways, then the Dragons are going to be on a stagger for at least a couple more rounds thereafter. So get that stealth drone, see if anyone's in corner. Can it survive through the aftershock? It actually has to dodge out through their own teammates, but still, they will use those guided salvos to try and give themselves some space. But Jumi just sits, crouches, and wins the day.
I think a big difference right now, and this is just such a simple thing to say, CCT not hitting their shots. We're seeing a lot of panic, a lot of flick, a lot of anxiety when it comes to these 1v1s, and I'll be honest, they've really got to lock in on the plays like that, or they're going to keep losing these 1v1s.
Ooh, you get a couple. Jumi has been such a thorn in the side of CCT. You have one man that's trying to run away, see if they can be able to find that long angle, and instead they do not. It's going to come down to a ghost Utopia. I don't know if they had more than that, but they knew that that was going to haunt them either way. So a successful bonus round for the Rams of Roberson, and the Dragons are going to feel themselves not feeling too mythical.
Not feeling too spectacular about this quite yet, but good news. I mean, there's plenty of time to turn this around. I don't think this is going to be an end of the world scenario, at least not yet. I think a lot of playtime is going to come later for CCT with the weapons online. Now, we did just see a weapons round that was lost, but hopefully they're able to warm up and not let these next couple of rounds get to them, because I do think we're probably staring at a 5-0, 6-0 before CCT gets a chance to put a point back on the board.
Because of the stagger of their total eco and their total arsenal right now, they're also feeling like they have to stick to only CQC's situation with these sheriffs. That well is going to delegate some space, and they're going to take over into lamps. I say take over, but they still are playing Wild West with some 6-shooters, seeing what they can do. Off of this jigsaw box, Yumi continues to elevate. You're going to have that wall go up, but it does not separate them as they're on the other side of boxes, and we're getting some big value, and it's all down to Jitter to make this work.
Oh, they take the wee bittest of, okay, and then they look at the ground wide swing into 4 people. And Roberson is going to be able to find that 4th round win. Now on the board, a big opportunity. Roberson High, as I mentioned, I do think we're going to be seeing 5 or 6-0 if CCT is going to be able to put any points on the board. But let's look at the economy. Yeah. Oh, they're going to go for full buy here, and they can't really afford all of it.
They should be able to, because their previous was that light shield with the sheriffs, and so they did structure themselves to at least take that into this next round. So I don't hate that they're actually running into that full rifle, because you're basically in the save by situation. They have the revive online for Marucha, so the 6-man is there. You already have the Cosmic Divide for Jumi, and alongside their Gecko have been pretty effective. In fact, they have not died as of yet. So everyone running pretty efficiently here for the Roberson Rams. CCT, they finally find a new mark as they go towards B.
No paint shells out. Flash on the corner as well. Going to be shot early, though. First elimination in favor of Roberson is going to be traded out. Unfortunately, it's going to be a 2-for-1 as Gecko takes that wide swing early. 4v3 spike available down B long. But could go for the rotation, the sneak around. They've tied it up 3-3. Let's use some utility, though, gang.
Oh, boy.
Let's put up an Omen smoking.
They have no idea.
Omen smoking. Grab that spike, at the very least.
They have no idea that they actually have, I think, is Jumi right behind them. They're going to be caught off angle. The revive's going to be coming through. Oh, no, they're not. Now they got free bait. Are they able to get through Jitter? Jitter does at least save them for the moment. A 3v2. They do have the man up. They have not picked up that spike. I guess it doesn't matter, but time is starting to feel a little bit more omnipresent there on the clock.
Yeah, they're finally starting to use some utility, which is good, because that was just my comment a moment ago. A lot of plays that just kind of relies on run in and shoot, and they're finally going to be putting some plays down on the table. 3v1. 2 players, critical condition, though. I mean, just definition of the word, and then the Sage, the last player left standing. They're going to get spike plant down, at least they should. So let's see how good their defense is.
Gonna have basically a one-way situation, all fed up here for the Gecko out of Roberson. So even though you have 2 very critically hurt players, it doesn't matter if the HP bars never get touched. Depends on how some of those fights go forward. So Jitter's gonna be taking the kind of point man as the healthiest member. Finally is able to give them some extra health. You do have that pocket heal. A low health situation as well for Roberson, and Jitter with a 3K in this round finally puts a tourniquet on the old limb, and the Dragons will stand back up.
Hey, this is what I talked about, you know, just getting warmed up, taking those opportunities to strike early on can be beneficial, but when you lose, you have to adjust your playstyle pretty aggressively, pretty handedly, and it comes out in a 4-1 scenario, but until your opponent has 7 points on the board in the first half, you can absolutely make that comeback. I mean, they could go into the second half 8-4 if they win every round from here on out.
Thank you, Observer. Look, you don't need those trees, all right?
They're just for pretend.
Yeah, 2D assets, 3D world, 4D mindset. Come on, get with the program. Back on the map. A lot of ultimates here for Roberson High. They're going to have a very strong retake regardless of where everything is hitting. You're going to have that poke of the bear, or at least Jitter is able to kind of lurk, force a bit of a decoy, but I wonder how much of the Rams are actually already reading this. Jumi rather, has been very strong wherever you kind of lay them out. They get caught on the fault line. That one's stun and gun and done, and that means everyone has to rotate for the Rams.
Rotation for the Rams at a pivotal time. CCT, first time they've had the player advantage, I think, ever so far. This is a big opportunity. They're going to be up 5-4, but a lot of ultimates in the pocket. A monster on the loose makes it that easier. Oh, the Rolling Thunder as well. Every ultimate under the sun. Roberson says, we are not losing this round, but with this Omen still alive. Oh, the wall. Oh, he doesn't know.
He has no idea.
He doesn't know.
Cowboy.
Nice kill?
Yep. No.
Too excited.
Not cool enough. That's fine. But skinny pop they're gonna have. Okay, the 1v2. Can they find them? Just off in the corner, the healthier member is taken down. Godly vibes for the clutch up. They can take on this Gecko, and now they know they can play cat and mouse with them. They're gonna put the fault line out. They fully commit to the defuse, and what a clutch there by the Dragons.
I mean, that was impressive. Well done on the side of Godly Vibes. I was a little bit against the ultimate when I saw it, but clearly the plan was there. It worked out well and found an advantage for CCT. That's 2 rounds in a row, and in a game all about momentum, I mean, that could be huge.
And that was 2 big ultimates invested from the Rams. You had the showstopper that I thought honestly was going to get a double kill. Ended up being at least a couple found regardless there for Mixture. And then you had the Thrash that kind of led the charge. Really never got the value as well. From the Armageddon was kind of sus to a degree because Dragons used it for the hallway running back towards them. I thought they might actually use it dissuading and delegating away. A nice first pick. That's already one of their duelists off the board and make it the other one. Wow, okay, Dragons starting to catch fire.
Gecko finds 2, ties things up from a 5-3 to a 3-3. Spike yet to be planted, but it is in the hands of CCT. They find Astra off to the side there. B site wide open, unbeknownst to them, and we're hoping to see an opportunity of play on this defuse coming out.
Sneaky, sneaky. Where's the Spike going? 3v2. It looks like it's primed for A. They're hoping for a pick. Oh, they catch him off guard! Talk ups. Oh my goodness. Good old Taco. Put some extra beef and cheese in it because they just made a twofer for free. So that's where you gotta watch 2 angles. It's tough because they want to both engage from that doorway there, Septilence, but just weren't able to do much with it. And now this eco has taken a complete 180.
4-3. You know, they were just keeping things interesting for our fans at home, but it is CCT Black really coming out in troves here from the shadows versus Cosmic Divide, Run It Back, and the mythical Sky Cabbages on the board. So I think Robertson High going to be trying to use a couple of ultimates in this round, and if they don't, well, maybe they should.
I know you're self-proclaimed Rays enjoyer.
Yes.
Have you been playing at all any Tejo? Been able to get any kills on the Armageddon?
No, I don't like playing new characters.
Oh no, never.
I get nervous.
Only 2021 characters.
Yeah, pretty much characters that were out near the game's release. Sky making that the exception. Oh, Godly Vibes does find one. The shotgun not firing fast enough. 3-1. Sage, last player left standing.
Ruchas does not have a revive to pick anyone up. They do have Spike though, and they're actually waiting for contact. They're gonna see the jump peak. Literally not moving. Full on statue. Got Doctor Who vibes kind of going on, but as soon as they stop looking, Maruchas is free. I mean, that's what their name says, or at least for free. They'll be running all the way back over towards A. A plant here would be massively successful. So would a save. They can do either one. Maybe we'll just kind of play away from sight and see what they can get. But they're gonna be pincered from north and south.
Plant down is huge for the economy alone. 400 additional credits in the team's pocket per player going into the next round, so they could use that to capitalize. A great angle to be held, but unfortunately they panicked the moment that Gecko turned the corner. You saw the crosshair flick a little bit too early, not able to find the capitalization, but still a decent round from CCT. The first one in 4 rounds they didn't win, so terrible, not in the slightest. 5-3 on the board. Robertson just 1 play away from being able to guarantee at least a tie going into the second half. At worst, a tie, excuse me.
That's very true. And that round was actually comprised of a bunch of, Buckies and Marshals and Sheriffs.
Yeah.
So it was a very cheap round for Robertson, considering they were trying to catch up for all the extra money investments. And so the hedge funders come through, and they got guns for free off of the bodies that Dragons left behind out of CCT. So bit of an eco swing just to make sure that they keep them honest. You do have 3 players at minimum that will be able to buy next for CCT. So it's not like it's all the worst situation. Huge first pick. Can't be able to scramble the Jets and the bullets off of some early accuracies. Skinny Pop finds 2.
Can't be standing in a straight line like that. It will cost you at a pretty pivotal moment, I fear. 2 players down, 5-2, 5-1, 5-0. Oh my goodness, the spray transfer from Mixture near flawless on that execution. The round quite literally flawless.
All right, that's getting right back to form here for the Rams. And they're right back to having nearly every ultimate. Yeah, seeing if they can be able to find some of that. They actually are 1 ult orb away from having that Thrash back up. I feel like we've been here before, Septilence. It's a very deja vu of where everything's been swinging. They only have, Guardian. So Jitter hasn't really had to make too many crazy plays that wasn't just gunplay oriented. Wonder if they might keep that from the shadows for this, or just kind of chill for later.
from the shadows on the offense is typically you try to take an off angle. It didn't work for the team, so you have to go ahead and move around, you know, teleport in, grab the spike, and plan on a different site. But I'm not sure if that's going to be the style of play from CCT. Play style comes in hyper aggressive. Godly Vibes finds one. They look. Heaven should have been peeking hell. Taken down. Showstopper off the back of a Rolling Thunder, but the Guardian stops that show in its tracks. Raze has fallen now. CCT 4-3 advantage.
Utopia way back corner. They know they're separated off of that wall. I would love to actually see them use the run it back to get some of that space.
I agree.
They're going to commit to this Cosmic Divide. Maybe break that wall if they can. They're not going to get through it. And they're waiting it out. Jitter is literally just in the triangle of justice and strength. They have a shotgun that they have to deal with. And quick peek, that one out of Zabieru. As they come straight through the purple divide, as the curtain is down, can this play continue? You do the run it back, and they don't get any extra information. In fact, Jitter is able to get rid of at least one. We're down to a 1v1. They have to get this defuse off. What is happening? What is going on?
You know where the spike is. You know they're defusing. You just gotta run it. You just gotta run it. No utility. Live by the blade, die by the blade. You have to get in there. And unfortunately, they didn't. It cost them a round. That was painfully winnable.
Wow. Yeah. Hit him with the Dougie. Wow. A bit of dance and a bit of love and a bit of good fortune there for Jumi, as apparently the purple smoke was too scary for Taco Ops. So that will be where they end up existing on the other side. Also, that showcase, depending on where the ping happened, maybe the team was trying to just show them where that spike was. You can't quite click on it because you had to click on smoke. So maybe there was an inaccuracy from the team comms.
Could have been a team comms issue. That's very true. Didn't quite know where to go. I think you just spray the entire smoke, or you just run in. You know, you've got the shotgun in hand. Just tear it up, right?
That's true.
But unfortunately, a little bit of fright goes a long, long way at a time like that. And Robertson High getting dangerously close to 8 points on the board. They've got the guaranteed lead going into the second half. Thrash is back. Doesn't stop the defuse, but definitely takes the team off that pedestal. Godly Vibes down. The fake blast back is crazy work. But it works. Mixture gets
it does
the pick.
work. Mixture hitting them with the old in with the old chemicals. Loves me some good old chemistry as Zabieru tries to do something. They get caught with a face full of lead as Utopia will help out the Flawless and the Rams, not just the 8. It could be a 9-3 blessing on the other side of this one. Remember, both these teams very close to each other in the current standings. Looks like we're implying some separation occurring here in this early first half.
Yeah, the early first half is going to be lending itself quite handedly in favor of the team with the significantly more interesting team composition, which I think is fascinating. The team comp that I don't think would have worked as well as it has so far, but luckily for them, it's working in troves. It guaranteed at least 2-round lead going into the second half, but CCT Black with this offensive-sided composition, I'm really scared about what they're going to be able to do on the defense.
Have them peeking up in from the teleporter. Jitter is definitely fully caught out and stunned. Mixture is just going to be chilling in there. Oh, you're caught with the old curveball in hand. They get stunned again. That's going to be a weapon upgrade as they go from the Bulldog over into the Vandal. Fat Flash caught right in the eyes by Zabi. So now, as they get him from out of TP, it becomes a 2v1 in just a matter of 30 seconds.
Jumi has every single bit of their arsenal available. They hear the Sage Wall go up. They're just going to go for the classic knife it. They know where you are, but you stay out of the way. That's smart. I'd love to reload on the gun before we wide swing here.
12 bullets.
I mean, that's... You got to hit your shots with 12. Oh, they jumped out a little early, but it still works. Holy cow. They've hit the low ground here. This is a big opportunity. One? Oh, Mauritius finds it. Almost the opportunity for a Twitch clip if I've ever seen one, but CCT Black able to win that 4th round going into the second half.
You know what? They probably looked at the old scoreboard and said, oh, Maruchas and Zabi are at the bottom of the stack.
A little too confident, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of hubris goes a long way. Ask Odysseus. So... But we're not giving names over to Cyclopses. We're simply going into the other side of this epic tale, and that's going to be the defense, where the lone sentinel across both these teams will be set up now. And feels like, you know, obviously when you have players and teams that kind of walk in, depending on whatever they decide to choose for their composition, feels like Zabi's Reyna didn't find a lot of value. There's actually a chance for them to find so much of that, especially if they receive and find the immediate duels against Roberson. But this is a point of strength for them. They went no Sentinel. That means they can really get some pace into these initial rounds.
That's very true. They can really get some hyper aggression going into these latter rounds. But let's see if they go for that follow-up when they need to. Name of the game is taking space, and by golly, Godly Vibes in the corner gets a 1-1 trade. Not the end of the world. A decent performance thus far. Roberson High, though, finds 2 players of their own. Mixter 5 HP in a dream.
Last player standing.
Gets one, but unfortunately, that's going to be just about it. Play comes through. Roberson High, they are not slowing down this lead in the slightest. Now putting themselves up 9-4.
Rams got a chance to get the double digits first. CCT more than likely going to be going into some level of save. Feels like you'll maybe have a ghost or some such, but they'll be acting from a 10-4 deficit. So do you exact using a cheeky play, ghost stingers, light shield? Do you do any of that early, especially considering that your opponent's going to go into 10? Do you try to counter to anti-eco into this, or do you simply play it as conservative as they would? What would be your call to that?
I would play as conservative as possible. I don't know if that's the proper opinion, but I think we see very often when a team gets to a scenario, just like you said, of, oh, my opponent's almost at 10, they spend every single round for the rest of the game buying up every single round, and then they never have a full economy back. It makes it very difficult to go for bar on engagements, and they tend to lose a very hefty amount of rounds in a row, and typically by then, if they're at 10, you'll lose the game off the back of it. So I do think preservation, especially at the scholastic level, is something I want to be seeing more of. I want to see these teams be more patient. I want to see more save rounds and things of that nature, but it looks like CCT Black, anything they've even bought so far, which doesn't seem to be much, which is awesome, they're not going to get to use. So it's really good news they did not buy out.
Yeah, you know, considering how difficult it's been for them to just kind of get some regular time on target and to get those kills. Roberson, they had the buy up and they made the best of it. 10-4, good buddy, and good for the Rams. So as all of their Gecko was the one that kind of fell out. So CCT, this is where everything kind of finds a pivot point and finds a necessity for success. They're going to have rifles. This is going to be a very strong bonus for the Rams. Dragons, all the pressure's on them right now, and I gotta think maybe some play calling probably comes out of Jitter. He's been the most successful across their team so far.
Yeah, quite handedly as well. Yeah. Definitely been a strong player on the side of CCT Black. Double blast back in. You know the enemy's right there. Gun does not make an appearance fast enough. It's still gonna be a 1-1 trade though. Could have been a lot worse.
Ooh, and they get him just as the dark cover goes down. That's a huge find for Taco. Skinny Pop. They'll have to watch from the sidelines, and Jumi, they get immediately identified in the face and suppressed. Not really much that they can do, but kind of walk away, and they will go for that Bulldog that their teammate left behind. Some good communication, but that wallbang headshot lays Jumi down all the same. You already have a running back online here in round 3 of the second half, and both players are in showers. They may actually use that to try and get their escape line unlocked.
Never a bad idea to try and find that escape line. Just saving any weapon could be big, but when you get caught in the showers, it could be a disaster. Oh, you can't! If you flash, you gotta hit your shots. A decent idea and concept, but I fear the executions were around the corner regardless of the rest of that round. Roberson High, 10-5 now on the board. CCT finally staying up and running.
See, that there's one thing I often say when it comes to both blinds as well as flanks. The most difficult player is the one that cannot see you. It's the one, especially just for some reason you flank someone and there's a sixth sense that they're just not gonna die. They're the most difficult thing because they're just not reading you. When they're blinded, they swing weird as well. So job well done by CCT. They will at least keep the hemorrhaging from happening, but Roberson High goes into this rifle round with everything to gain if they're able to finish this one off in 3 more rounds.
Everything to gain, nothing to lose. Those are often the scariest players to play against. They can give up a couple more rounds before they're even worried about entertaining the idea of a loss. So I think the level of aggression may just ramp up. I think they have found themselves more victorious when they force CCT to play to their speed. And as we see that proof in the pudding there, Jumi able to find that first elimination.
First pick to be able to get themselves some surety, but Taco will kick right back another wallbang headshot to add to the collection of clips. But right there for their Gecko, they're gonna actually see the Mixture go over the top of Truck. This is a very strong position. You're exposed in 2 different pathways, but you have so much extra sight line. Blast back, not really gonna reach. You're kind of throwing with your strong hand there, so they will retreat with just enough of their HP bar to still fight.
Oh, again, just right time, wrong shots, wrong bullets. Unfortunately, does not work like they wanted to. Maruchos finds 2 into 3. 1 left. Uh-oh, is that gravity well gonna make the difference? Do it again. Oh! Gotta go for Spike. Yes! Oh, what a pick! Jumi able to find. That's round, no, they don't know about half!
Oh,
no way! Wow! Well done! What a play!
Maruchas coming in just enough. They got a 3K. Unfortunately for Utopia, they decided to go full auto after they missed their first 100% accuracy shots, and that ended up being what caught them into being the 3rd kill in Marucha's clutches. And then Marucha's does stick for at least half. That's huge. Being able to find themselves a dub there, felt like Roberson was going to be able to walk away with that round.
We are strong.
They know it as well, and I think that's going to be the hard part, right? I wonder if that's going to change the indication or the execution of this round here. They know that that could have been a win. They weren't able to find, and CCT continues to ever so slightly close that gap on them.
Yeah, the Empress popped, trying to give them some level of credibility, but that's going to be quickly cleared. Godly Vibes will be caught by the hottest of hands, and they will be cooked on to the pavement. Maruchas, they stand strong. They actually just go and take on a full blast from the Bulldog. Taco has this flank, and he's got targets to choose from. He goes for the high priority target, which is the one that would go away. They're caught with util. They're going to use the stealth drone. They're going to get some visual, a suppression, but that's actually going to be cleaned up by Jitter. Where Taco was in the corner, Jitter came to play.
This is getting a little interesting. We see once again CCT able to find that victory in a round that starts a little bit rough. It's their 3rd in a row on this half, and we saw this happen in the first half where it took them a couple rounds to get warmed up, and once they did, they really began to show off a little bit. Luckily, Roberson was able to kind of stomp that out and take the lead going into the second half. I will say though, CCT each round feeling cleaner and cleaner. CCT, I mean, hey, it ain't over till it's over.
You know what? I saw early success, and I was immediately a Dragon Slayer. I was like, you know what? No, this team's out. It's done. It's kosher. They don't need to be in this this same ranked situation as Roberson. Now I'm realizing maybe that was just the first half situation. Maybe there's more to be said, more to be done. You have 2 good entry ultimates if they want to weaponize them off of the running back as well as the Thrash. You could do the same thing post plant as well as use the Cosmic Divide to lay a purple curtain out there. B is at least populated with Jitter in the gang. Godly Vibes with the flashpoint. That's what you love to do, the all-Australian, but Mixture takes a step back.
Ooh. Oh, thank goodness for the double swing, because that could have been a disaster. They're able to find that at a pivotal moment. Robertson able to tie things up 4-4. They need to get onto site and plant, though. Have we seen a plant yet in the second half?
They did plant once, and that was when the defuse
Oh,
for
yes,
half and
that's
then more
right.
happened.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I forgot that
But
was
that's
this half.
But I think that's the only time. I think that's
Yeah,
really the
otherwise
only time.
they're struggling to get into sight, period.
30 seconds
Yeah.
left.
They will force everyone to rotate, though, for CCT. So the Dragons went away. They'll use the runner back. They want some extra information. Mixture is literally just going to run, gun, and take it down in lamps. They have a Lear coming out. They're going to break the all eyeball. Mixture will see 2 separate targets, and they at least pop the Phoenix, but there's still 4v3 to be fought.
Oh! Bruce goes down on the height there. Could be a pretty important elimination.
Purple curtain. They have to go straight through this. Do you fully commit? You know they're right behind. Oh my goodness, Jitter. They do not shake. They do not stir. They're gonna try and stick this. The well is gonna put them off center. They are gonna be vulnerable as well, so double the damage, double the stun. It's bobsled time. It's a 1v1. I just don't think there's enough time.
There isn't. A good save though on the rifle though. Oh, thank goodness. I would have felt like such a jinx in that moment, but no, we found it, able to get that on the board. 11-7 in favor of Roberson High School. A game that was once 8-4 is now 11-7. So things, the gap has been closed. Just no, that's the same amount of numbers. So still a four round differential. But let's see if it gets any larger or if it gets closed even further. I think CCT has a really good opportunity to close things up.
Got the Armageddon to keep themselves at least some pressure to retake site, depending on if they can get kind of sight line. It's a slow-moving rocket launch, so you know, it's just like every 18-wheeler I ever see on the highway. For Roberson, they've got the Thrash, they've got the Showstopper, and Godly Vibes. Well, no more Showstopper. They stopped that show as Mixture. Look, if there's one thing that I've seen in Godly Vibes, first off, Clutch Master. Secondly, they are using their flashpoints to perfection.
Yeah, which is good because they didn't use them for the first, like, 3 rounds. Like, it was very weird. We didn't see them a lot at the beginning of the game, but they really are coming out. They're very executed, very mechanical, very methodical, which I think is super important when you're playing a character of that nature, of creating those opportunities for your team. You need to know exactly what patterns you want to be hitting and when to execute them. So, a small, subtle role to be played, but a very valuable one.
Utopia is going to break out. At least trying to be able to get through this. Jumi gets rid of Taco, who has been very pivotal and necessary for this Dragon squad out of CCT to be successful. You're going to have a lot of Nebulas, but Jumi gets caught from behind. They do not win the side-to-side strafe battle against Jitter. They've been pretty sure-handed about that. Quick heal onto Utopia. They're chilling, but it's a 2v3. 25 seconds to go. Jitter will be chilling on site. You do have Maruchas, who is going back and forth between site A, site B, seeing who they got to be able to fight against. And you only have 15 seconds to get this plant off. Got to wonder if there's enough time. They still have to walk through this Reyna.
10 seconds left.
15 seconds. You need, what is it, 4.4 to plant. Only one player left standing, and not for long. CCT able to find that victory, puts their 8th round win now up on the board, keeping this game a heck of a lot closer than it felt like it was going to be coming into the second half.
Within 3. It was marginally worse, just a little bit at the start. Roberson would love to put this one away. 11-8. You have the Armageddon, you have the Rolling Thunder. Both of those in combination can create quite the death sandwich between them. And they can use that for retake and whatever else you want. Roberson got both their initiators, some extra info that can be gathered off of the old armor fish and the roaming cabbages. But that Showstopper, I think, needs to be weaponized. It felt like it is burning a hole in the pocket.
Yeah.
This Rams attack definitely wants to push in.
You definitely hit a point with a lot of these players in this game in particular where we do see them sitting on their ultimates for significantly longer than they need to be. I mean, it recharges, that's the whole point, right? Even if you get 1 or 2 eliminations, you still get 1 or 2 eliminations, which is more than we're getting without our ultimates right now. So I want to see if we get those ultimates a little more consistently going into these very later rounds.
Godly Vibe finds 2. This is definitely a tough position. They use the Aftershock to kill Wingman as he was going for the plant onto that truck. Godly Vibes is absolutely feeling it right now, and they don't need to do the rest as Jitter and Taco come through. That has to be your top 3 players that are exacting the process, executing well, and off of that eco, now we go to another rifle round that Roberson High is seeing this start to slip. Everything stayed kosher ultimate-wise. That's going to be in the old back pocket, but CCT, they needed that one. All my believers out there, this is exactly what you're here for. This is where you start singing.
Absolutely. It feels like CCT continues to almost claw back, and then they get taken down. Time and dude, just rip Rolling Thunder. You just saw 3. Go Craig, go wide with it.
Go Craig.
Go Craig.
He just dodged the Pathfinder. Oh my goodness.
Oh, there goes somebody.
Using that Aftershock defensively, they got the Rolling Thunder. Like, you know what? I just wanted them in the pit of misery, stuck in lamps, able to get 1. They will receive a boom bot for their efforts, but that's gonna be another revive coming through, and they're gonna be able to get some good vibes back onto Godly Vibes.
4-2. Got the backside nearly wide open. It's just Maruchos, who's had a couple of good plays, but unfortunately, that won't be one of them. Roberson High, they do put themselves up onto match point. Finally, they've really taken a while to get here when we thought they would a lot faster, but better late than never.
And to that point as well, you don't have. I mean, it ended up being kind of all of a delay mechanism, but that Rolling Thunder goes away. Armageddon, you do not want to let that one kind of run off. If there's anything that I want to see immediately, I want to see their Reyna pop the Empress. Give yourself the best possible kind of win condition, and to at least let you ramp up with that ability storm and have that extra speed. You definitely have both your initiators off of the Rams that could be able to get some immediate pressure depending on what they want for that info. So here we go. It's round number 22, and it's all the marbles right here.
And I mean, let's not forget, Empress considered the worst ultimate in the game by a lot of people. Like, it's not an ultimate you want to just be holding on to for any reason. You can really get a lot of value with it just by ripping it. It's that scare factor almost that makes it as valuable as it is. CCT going into the possibly last round with a big number advantage. One player down and out. The rest still on the board. Oh, 4-3 now. Just honestly, rip the Thrash. What are we waiting for? Well, maybe don't anymore. Now we're down by 2.
Nope. They were thinking that they had at least one successful point of contention, winning on 2 separate fronts. They got him on the corner. They got him from heaven, and it suddenly goes from 4-2 to 2-2 in a just flash.
A literal flash. I use Thrash now 100% of the time, by the way. I send him out hyper aggressively. I find an enemy with him. Ideally, I get the kill, and we walk away with it. They're going to try to show us they don't need it, though. The 2v1, they know where the Raze is. No idea where Gecko is. The blast back. What are we doing? I love it.
Oh! Hold on. Whiffing? He's just going to press.
Yep, he's got all the utility he needs. Yep!
Oh, my lord.
Oh, man. You know what could have won that? Thrash, probably.
You're going to be on that. You know what?
Listen, they just lost the winning round because of that. Like, you gotta lock in on that. Thrash could have helped. You got a 3rd man on the board.
As I've been told, real and true.
Amen. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Send a poet. Well, CCT, they still have an Armageddon. They got some extra information that you can get off of from the shadows. They also, on Roberson, still have both of their initiators ultimates, and they've got their run it back.
Yep.
So, you got 2 chances. Now, here's the problem. Here's the predicament. Their eco's not great. If they buy into this, and they don't dub, then CCT has a very big chance to force us to go to OT.
Now, Helmut, let me tell you something. I've seen this happen before. Because of that round win, CCT is going to win 2. They're going to take us into overtime. Roberson's going to win this 15-13.
You sound as depressed as I do whenever I'm like, oh, this is what I'm getting for my birthday. Yeah.
Yep. I think that's exactly what's going to happen here. We're going to take into overtime by CCT.
But wait.
They're going to.
Wait. Trying to rewrite this storybook ending that apparently already is known by Septilence. Jumi's going to try and keep it close quarters. They've got the stinger. Can they at least identify who's close and who's not? They use the well. They know that they heard footsteps from the Reyna. Utopia gets rid of Jitter. He gets rid of Taco. Trying to rewrite the story. It's a short one. It's a fast narrative. They're able to get 1 using the dismiss. Now they have to get the defuse. It's standing between them and a shot plate of Jumi. They don't have it. They're going to be able to fight this out. Jumi walks away, and that'll be it. Now they're just simply going for the half just to have it.
Close, but no cigar. 4:20 left on the clock. Valorant comes to a close. Robertson High School winning 13-10. Big congratulations there. That matchup a lot closer than I thought it was going to be after the first 5-ish rounds, but a win is a win regardless. A beautiful performance from both teams. Took a little bit of time to get warmed up, but we did see a warm-up. We saw a very close game and a good one at that.
Top 3 there for the Roberson Rams, looking very, very stout. But you got to give a lot of love over to Godly Vibes and Jitter. Even Taco, it felt like they just started way too slow in that first half. And that as they were able to find themselves defensively actionable, things were looking so much more successful. Unfortunately, kind of came a little bit too late. And, you know, they're going to see themselves go into even 500. But Roberson, they go to 4-2. Both these teams looking like they're making some progress throughout the season, especially into this final week.
Absolutely, and that's what the main season is all about, is getting better, improving, going into those playoffs, going into that May Madness, finding opportunities to strike and be successful later down the line. And speaking of successful, somebody's about to be successful simply for watching the broadcast, simply for participating, simply for being here with us at VESL, and that is our 4th giveaway winner, who is Internet Salad. A big congratulations to Internet Salad for being our 4th giveaway winner here tonight. We still have 3 more on the board, my friends. So stick around. We're going to go ahead and throw it to a break. We're going to try to get Marvel Rivals ready for you guys in just a couple of minutes. We'll see you right back here with some more VESL action.
Who can guess their Marvel rival character first?
Is my character a support?
Yes. Is my character male?
No. Ooh, why am I thinking like Invisible Woman? Is my character have one of them broken defensive ults?
A health regen type ultimate?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think that was good. I think I'm cooked.
Is my character ranged?
Yeah. Are they blonde?
Is my character a strategist?
No. Is my character Invis?
Psylocke?
No. Oh,
I'll be going first this time. Okay. My character have hair that is longer than their shoulder.
No.
Okay. Could be a hairless painting.
Do they have red on them? Is it primary color?
No.
No, okay.
Is my character a non-human?
I have no idea. Is my character a human?
You would consider them human, but like more accurately. No, not really. She didn't know immediately if my character was human or not. So they gotta look pretty freaking weird. Is my character from Overwatch?
Yes.
Oh, calm down. It's gotta be the ninja guy. Greninja? That is a Pokemon. Anyway, go ahead.
Is it from Smash?
Yep. Is my guy the green ninja? Talking about Genji.
Yeah. Dude, there's so many characters.
What's that supposed
Was
to
it
be?
Donkey Kong?
No. Let's see who knows more about Overwatch.
How many support characters are in the game?
Oh, brother. Already with the bangers on the game. 12.
I feel like that's over. I'm gonna go 10.
11.
Ah! Why is it always everything?
Where is Widowmaker from?
France.
France.
Yeah.
How many villains are in Overwatch?
Villains?
How many? Oh, that's a crazy one.
What constitutes as a villain? Just purely bad?
I think it's time to throw a number out there.
10. You are cooked. And while he's
I'm
cooked,
feeling
subscribe.
The number 8.
11.
Why is it always? That's 11 twice.
yeah.
Hold on.
What year was Overwatch first introduced?
2016.
2016.
Let's go.
Where is Mercy from?
Germany.
Germany.
Which one of us knows more about Valorant?
How many seconds does pre-round last?
Pre-round as in like just regular or like the pistol round? 45? 40. No, it's
I think pistol round's 40. I think regular round's 30.
40 seconds. How long does Jet Smoke last?
4 seconds.
4.5.
4.5 seconds.
Come on now, yeah, I got that 0.5 in.
Where is Astra from?
Oh God. Can you do the how she talks? No.
I don't remember any of those lines right now. Oh,
we both agree for a hint?
Yeah.
Can we get a hint? Great, so we guess out. Say Egypt.
That's definitely not right.
Oh shoot, I was gonna
What
say
letter does it start with?
G.
Ghana?
Ghana.
Cancel the actual one. We both didn't know. Make sure to subscribe.
Who leads Valorant?
Brim is one.
Brimstone, Jet, and Sage.
I want to say Brimstone, Sage, Phoenix.
Brimstone, Viper, and Sage.
Viper is
I thought she was like a villain.
What profession did Jet do before joining Valorant?
Oh yeah, no, I'm good.
I don't. Why am I thinking like a barber with some?
She was a track star.
A chef.
Chef.
Yeah.
She was a chef.
Yeah.
Blind ranking Apex characters with Zephyr. We have Gibraltar.
Oh, all right. I used to be a Gibby main, but I don't think the man sells much anymore. I'm putting him in a 4. Someone's gonna hate me for that.
Hey, listen, you gotta put it where you believe, right? All right, next up is Fuse.
Oh, sorry guys. He's not a fan favorite. I'm doing this for me. He's my main. He's gotta go number 1.
Number 1 right off the rip. Hey, you, subscribe. Here's gonna be a fan favorite, Octane.
I do think there are some better picks out there. I think Octane's super fun, but I'm gonna put him in 3.
That's a safe bet. That's a safe bet. But knowing what's coming up, I don't know. Caustic.
You know what? Actually, I'm okay. I left room for myself. He's straight into 5. Everyone hates this man.
And last up, you have Watson.
You know what? I think we could give some love over to Watson. I think second is a nice place. She's cute. She's lovely. She's a fan favorite.
These two juniors in high school both play football and are about to rank their favorite STEM careers. Data analysts. As a football player in high school, sports analysts analyze.
I'm putting A.
Marketing manager.
Yeah, I like this.
Cybersecurity.
It's important to keep your data. You wouldn't want anybody to like hack you. I would do B.
Aerospace engineer.
I would want to make a plane fly.
Robotics engineer.
I would say this is important for the future because we're going to have a lot of robotic stuff. So yeah, I'll
S
put it
tier.
S.
What type of robot do you want to work on?
A chef. So when I get older, ooh, I'm going to have pancakes and all that.
Neurosurgeon.
I ain't messing with nobody brain.
How successful do you think you would be?
Oh, nah, you're done. You're done.
Industrial engineer.
B.
Software engineer.
I'll put S.
I create a new game.
I will move marketing to S. Like, we play sports, and that's a very important part.
Yeah, we all took that class.
Ever wondered why Doctor Strange's portals caused FPS drops in Marvel Rivals? Well, it really is a feat of modern computer engineering since you're simulating two worlds coming together. Since it's so complicated, when Marvel Rivals first came out, a lot of users had issues trying to load Strange's portals. But what exactly caused this? First, we got to talk about how the portals actually work. One of the first and most famous examples of wormhole portals in games is, of course, Valve's portal. The portals here stick to the wall and spawn a camera at the portal's location to show the portal's POV. And then they also adjust their angle to match the player's angle. In order to fix the weird perspective, you've got to pull the camera back away from the portal and also zoom in to fix the FOV and also match the player's view distance. Now it looks good, but does it portal good? No. When objects start to clip into the portal, they're then teleported to the other portal, which makes them look flat. So just create two instances of that object, both existing at each portal, and now it both looks and acts real. But what doesn't act real is Marvel Rivals portals. 17 years later, and Marvel Rivals portals has less tech than Portal. Strange's portals don't spawn a second character, so you can't exist at both locations at the same time. It's less complicated, but still drops your frame rate. Why? It's all because of those silly little cameras spawned at each portal. Your GPU instantly starts rendering 3 times the amount of pixels, which acts as if you just plugged in 2 extra monitors into your computer and started playing 2 more games. That's a great way to fry your computer. Ty and Sam are about to rank which STEM careers that they think make the most amount of money. Which one are you guys starting with?
The neurosurgeon.
Definitely, because you have to go in the brain.
You save lives.
STEM saves lives.
Aerospace engineer is the second.
What do you think the national average salary for these two positions are?
I'm gonna say 800,000, 300,000. Marketing managing is like 80,000, and I would say this is probably 90,000. Robotic engineering, I'd say like 5,000.
Yeah, software engineers around the 90,000, man.
Nah. To D, this one down to C, 200,000. Final guess.
Below neurosurgeon is cybersecurity at $120,000 a year. Why'd you guys put that so low?
It is important, but I don't think it's as important as the other jobs.
Did you guys know that hospitals get hacked?
No.
Yeah, and they hold hospitals for ransom.
I did not know that.
And so these guys step in to save lives just like the neurosurgeon.
I feel like everything we put up top is like hands-on jobs. Hands-on jobs, I would think to be more money. These are like on a computer, so I wouldn't think it would be as hard.
Is this changing your perspective on what types of industries that you would want to go into?
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to learn more about these STEM careers, head to thenotwork.org. Josh is flying blind. Can I get him to land on the blue circle? Let's find out. Taking off, and you're good. 10, 20, 30. Stop, like drop it like half height. Going down. All right, you're good. Go forward a little bit and left a little bit. And bring it back just a hair. Keep going back. Just keep going back and then drop it halfway. You don't know what halfway is, just drop it a little bit. One more forward. Flick it back twice. And drop it. I can't tell. Close enough!
2 of us knows the Valorant character, 1 of us doesn't, and we have to figure out who the imposter is. Let's go with reveal. Cool. Info. They're like dark colors. Yeah.
Female. Why are you looking at me like that?
You don't know the character, I know that. Radiant. Chase. Cat. I think it's you.
I gotta pick.
I think it's this guy. No, but I think he knows who it is. I think you figured it out, but I think it's you.
Ah, this is tough, man.
I think it's a mod.
I think you're just trying to get him on.
No, I think
even though you're the
I don't
imposter.
think it's you.
What the Sigma? Man? You look at me like. You know what? I'm gonna guess Andrew.
Are you? I think it's you. I'm gonna say you. Look at him. Look at him.
What does red mean?
You got it wrong.
You were the imposter. But why are you so sus, man?
I'm gonna have this Apex player rank 5 blind characters. Mirage.
Mirage 5, because it's no skill.
Okay.
You run up to someone and just Mirage ult, and there's just a bunch of Mirages everywhere.
Okay.
No
We're gonna
skill.
Anger some Mirage players out there.
Yeah,
Okay.
very personal.
Watson.
I'll put Watson at 3. She's not very fun, but she's definitely crucial in close range building situations.
Revenant.
Ooh. I will put Revenant at number 1 with his rework.
Pathfinder.
This will probably upset some people, but I'm putting Path at 4.
At 4.
Pathfinder mains are cringe, man.
Interesting.
They're cringe. They just grapple away, and I don't like it.
If you're a Pathfinder main, you should get in the comments.
Definitely.
And also subscribe. And then finally, we're gonna do Bangalore.
Bangalore. You know what? I think 2 is actually a good spot for Bangalore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Pretty solid all-around character.
We're gonna guess the Marvel Rivals character. Can you? Is it a support?
Do they use animals in their kit?
Do they have any stuff?
Can they traverse on the walls?
Is it Spider-Man?
Are they a melee character?
Penny. I guess Penny's also not a melee character.
Is it Iron Fist?
Guess who? Gaming edition.
Does your character have a hat?
Yes. Is your character a female?
No.
No.
I already got you pretty low here. Character a male.
Yes. Whoa, what happened here? How'd you get to 3? Is your character an Overwatch character?
Yes. I'm stuck, bro. Does your character have a headband?
No. Is your character May?
No. Is your character McCree?
No.
Dang, bro.
Is your character Anna?
No.
What?
Is your character Brimstone?
Yes.
Let's go.
2 of us know, 1 of us doesn't. We have to find the imposter.
Hair.
That is a really good general statement. First of all, I think it's him, but I'm gonna say animal.
It's an evil hairy animal.
You said something very specific. You said hair, super general. Like basically every character has hair. Bro is on the spot. I know that he knows who it is.
Gun.
He ain't got no gun, chief. Unless he's armed, he's concealed carry. Collar. I don't know why he's struggling so much. He
I'm just
obviously
struggling.
knows who the character is.
Spike.
Yo.
Male.
Big.
Shell. It has to be that guy. I am the imposter, but is it Bowser?
It is Bowser.
It is Bowser.
Yeah.
Does your character have visible hair?
Yes. Does your have any blue?
Yes.
Well, Kirby's like little pupil is blue. Well.
Is your character wearing some form of hat or headwear?
No. Is your character from Valorant?
Nope. Does your character have white hair?
Yeah. Are they tall? Taller than Mario?
No. Does your character have some sort of eyepiece?
No. Can you see their ears? Yes.
Is your character Jet?
Yes. Is your character Sonic?
No. Fox.
Why did I put Fox down?
I picked a character, and now he has to guess it in less than 10 questions.
Is it from the Mario franchise?
No.
Okay, well. Is it from the Fire Emblem franchise?
No. That's 2 questions
That
right there.
is 2 questions right there. Is it from Pokemon?
It is not.
What the Sigma, bro? Is it a DLC character?
No.
Is it Snake?
It is not Snake. That was a wild guess.
Well, it's true. I didn't even guess about the Legend of Zelda franchise. Are they from that?
No.
Are they human?
Yes.
Have I ever played them before?
How am I supposed to know?
Is it from Street Fighter?
It is not from Street Fighter.
Are they female? Yes and no. Is it Ice Climbers?
It is Ice Climbers. He's going to be blind ranking 6 Marvel Rivals characters. First one, Thor.
He's okay. He's okay. He's good. He's really good with Storm. So I'll put him C. I'll put him C. Okay, yeah, Venom's better.
Our next one, Iron Man.
He's like really good with Hulk team up. But if you don't have Hulk team up, he's really bad. I'm gonna rank him alone. I think he's like D tier. I don't like playing him. Storm's better, but.
Speaking of Hulk.
All right. Really good team up. Hulk Strange is like so good. I think A. I'm gonna save my S. I think I got some really good.
Our next character, Storm.
All right, that's like insane. She just farms ult so fast. I have to put her S. She's like banned in all my games. Everyone wants to ban her. She's so good. She farms ult so fast. She's so good.
Another interesting character next, we got Strange.
You're giving me so much gas. I would put him A and Hulk B. The Strange is so good. He's amazing. He had good shield, good team up, good damage, everything. Everything's good.
Final character, we got Luna Snow.
Rose gave me like all the S tier characters. What is this? I guess I have to put her E. She's like, dude, she's S tier, but like, it is what it is, man.
Okay.
It is what it is.
If you were to re-rank these.
Absolute cinema, that's it.
I mean, it's a respectable tier list, but put in the comments what you think about that.
We're gonna guess the Marvel Rivals character as it zooms out. Buzz? Ooh, Strange? Is it Moon Knight?
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to week 6 of Thursday Night Lights. I'm still Septilence, contrary to popular belief, joined by Hail Monkey Man once again. Now, we've got Marvel Rivals just around the corner for you guys, but before we get into that, we need to celebrate our VESL students.
We do. We ultimately do. Yeah. And from week to week, you guys are doing such great work, not just for the STEM competitions we see with drones, well, with cars, but also for all the antics that you guys are pulling off as we get to see. So we get to see the final week, I believe. I don't know. It could be near the end at least. But for all of our week 6 leaderboards for our pathway challenges. So let's go ahead and take a look at those as we get to see everyone that's been making in. And remember, these are live leaderboards, meaning that you still can get in and beat your opponents to death in numerical order. So
to death, but in numerical order. So it's important to note that, and also while this may be, but also may not be the final week, the point stands that it's closer to the end than it is the beginning. So if you want to get in, you're running out of time to do so. So be sure to hop in while you can. Cybersecurity leaderboard, a lot of similar names in slightly different places, and data analytics looking pretty darn good as well. So big congratulations to all of our VESL students for making it out of those leaderboards and hopefully continuing to be able to do so.
Hey, you know what? You were talking about, was it Idyllic? They were able to win their gift card earlier, so they're also in the top here for a few of these. And we also see Lestralis. They were here for a couple of them. One of us has got to be right with the way we say that name. I have no idea.
Statistically, one of us has to be correct.
Yeah, so we'll figure that out regardless. So NC Virtual Academy, William, Amos, Hugh, as well as Ardry Kell are posting up 3 big leaders for NCVA, Saturn, Leon, as well as Where to Chokin. So congrats to all of you that have been currently finding yourself at the top of the stack. You still have 1 week to get started on challenges, by the way, to qualify for states. So all challenges will be closing April 2nd. They did the 2nd so you wouldn't think it was a joke of the first.
It's not a joke.
It's not a joke. You got to do it right now. 11:45 p.m. So you do not have until midnight. It's 11:45 April 2nd. So get out there, go to the pathway challenges, see what's unlocked and get those done because you just want to find yourself on the leaderboards and have a great time with everyone else that's trying to make it to states.
Absolutely, guys. If you have the opportunity to try and make it to states, well, we certainly encourage you to do so, just like our upcoming teams are going to try and do here in Marvel Rivals. Both teams, once again, I believe, coming in with the same win-loss record. So this is going to be a huge momentum shift for both these teams. One in a good way, and the other, well, not so much.
And just before we get into that,
you're right.
It's a giveaway. Number 5 coming at you. Who got it?
Cool player for real. Not a joke, for real.
Master. All right. So again, if you want to be able to get your gift card, cool player for real, make sure you reach out to a VESL administrator and they'll be able to guide you the right direction. All right. Now we go to Marvel Rivals. We've given away a gift card. Let's go into it. So very similar to what we had just a little bit ago. We do find ourselves going between a couple teams that are both 3 and 2. It's going to be the NCCA Blue Owls. I don't think the Owls are blue, but they'll be facing
these ones are. That's why it's notable to mention it.
Because
normally they aren't. So it's like, oh, they're blue owls.
Okay. That's actually very rare. It's like the parrot. That
exactly.
Don't find anymore.
Whoa, we're in. Whoa.
Wow. Okay. Wow. We are flying. Now, I do love, and I've actually seen now several competitions of Marvel Rivals, that we get the safety pick of what you get to assure. What has been priority since we've been employing that?
Mostly it tends to be whoever your best player likes to play, at least at the scholastic level. Typically when you're jumping into comp, we're seeing a lot of Wolverine protection, a lot of Invisible Woman, a lot of Mantis tends to be protected as well. Spider-Man versus Winter Soldier Ban. Who are our protects going to be? Oh, Doctor Strange is another very popular one to protect.
Ah, okay. You know, got to make sure that everyone's FPS values go into the floor, and
yeah,
you know, just I hope all of you were able to get a 9070 XT.
Groot, that's another. Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah, been seeing them be consistent. I don't wonder. So, I mean, so Wolverine and Groot will be coming in. Next big bans. Do you actually take out Doctor Strange here? No, it doesn't seem like they're going to do on this side, but the other half feels like they have flexes where they may not want Doctor Strange at all.
Yeah, it really depends on composition. I think that's part of the reason that this game is so enjoyable the way that it is. It's just because really there's nobody in this game that I would call particularly bad. It's just going to be who are you putting the most work into. Now, a Luna Snow ban, that feels like somebody did their research and they know their opponent wanted to play her because that is a very specific ban to be bringing to the table. And Mantis?
Wow.
Wow. Okay, so Invisible Woman and Cloak and Dagger almost guaranteed. Yep, already locked in on both sides. Yep.
Yeah, there's really kind of no other option, especially when you're looking at how strong both of those have been. As much as I love Loki, you're just not going to get the same kind of like throughput for mitigation as well as total just value, especially with the way Cloak and Dagger continues to just dominate in your strategist. But, I mean, we see Groots, we see the Wolverine, and I've seen Wolverine cut people down. Really, you know, they definitely wanted that priority, and they want to be able to exact him on the map as we go to domination to kick off this best of 3.
Scarlet Witch from Majin. Oh, this is... I've seen this team before, but for some reason I don't remember this being their school name. No, we've seen Majin before. We've seen Liv is Slow as well. Last time we saw this team, Liv was actually listed as a substitute. So I'm curious if she continues to be one, or if maybe somebody wasn't able to continue playing with the team. They've moved her up to the main roster. Regardless, though, we've definitely seen, because we've seen Calyx on the group as well. Maybe you aren't here, but I've seen these people for sure.
Yeah, I'm down to be reminded. That's exactly why I'm here. So we go all the way up into it. It's gonna be game number 1 and map number 1 here of domination. The 1 of 1 of 1 of 1. Make sure you get that one graded. Hopefully it's a 10 for you. I know that. Actually, do you have any grade 10? You do.
I have one grade 10 card.
Is the Pikachu?
Oh my goodness, it is! What a good memory! Yeah. It is the gray. It is the Van Gogh Pikachu.
So cute.
Well, let's take a peek instead at these teams and see how this first engagement goes. Mr. Fluffle's already critical condition here, since Magneto not doing the necessary damage threshold to make him relevant for the time being. However, the support's already keep wide enough. A wide swing out from the Star-Lord, but unfortunately no eliminations. Wow, these teams really taking a decent while to get their footing down. All 12 players still up and running.
They're loving to play from offside because you have basically this funnel point. This feels very much like just, all right, who can be able to get first pick? Huge grab, by the way, and definitely a tank slayer whenever you get that full-on Wolverine. They're able to get those adamantium claws straight into the siding of NCCA. These owls are going to have to go roost somewhere else.
The Owl being dismantled and taken apart of it. Wow, Ultimate's already making an appearance, and from just barely able to take the lead. A pivotal time like this, they're able to pick up that momentum early on. Looking for that time to strike, may be able to do so soon. But the point nearly flipped, just barely broken away, and NCCA Blue does not find that point success they were looking for.
You get that team up with Scarlet Witch as well as Magneto, and it's so strong, especially now you're just using the all meteor, gonna get a fat KO. There goes Invisible Wall. Oh no, sorry, Cloak. Rather, Dagger. It's gonna the combination of the two. They're spirit connected. So.
When one dies, they both die. You're not necessarily wrong.
I mean, he's perpetually gone, right? So it's like extra death.
Yeah, right? It's like you die and you go to mega death or something. It's very unfortunate. a very sad story between the two of them. But really, I mean, if you guys have never read the Cloak and Dagger comics, I cannot recommend them enough. Truly some incredible heroes. Coming into this though, Cloak and Dagger not really making the big difference that we're necessarily looking for in this support role quite yet. The actions come out early. We see the slow and steady play style. Ooh, Wolverine able to find that elimination on NCCA Blue's Vanguard Groot. Blue Owls removed from the fray once again. And I think Durham, I mean, right now, unless they really choke, they're just going to have this 100-0.
Yeah, this is complete domination. And it feels like we have also not seen a lot of Kokaku. He's been basically hunting for a chance to go and be that that galactic legend, but not really getting anything for it and not even activating it to this point. So that may be a pocket ultimate that you simply save for later, especially that you should be able to separate them from sight. Even as they run all the way in, they will get immediate pick. They will activate overtime, and everyone comes snowballing in. I don't believe that Durham Arts is going to drop out here. The Bulldogs went barking. They set up the entirety of that invisible perimeter, and now as oh hell, okay, so you get the Goddess of Death. They're going all in to try and recover this, but I think it's gonna be all for naught, as now they don't have those for the beginning of our next round.
Now, listen, using that ultimate does not work out, right? We kind of do see that happen.
Yeah.
But I have to say, I respect the effort to try, because so many people are terrified of using their ultimates at the end of a round like that often it will end up costing them. But instead, we see that flip from the Owls here of, okay, we didn't win, but now we know that we weren't going to, instead of, could the ultimate have changed it? It's a big mental hurdle a lot of players are typically not really able to get over. So I think it's a courageous play. It doesn't work out like they wanted, but I do think it's commendable regardless.
And you also, I mean, if we're looking over to Durham Arts, they have two big ultimates to really establish like total zone control, because you're gonna have the cloak and dagger, you're gonna have that reality erasure off the Scarlet Witch. Feels like if you see that coming, you're like, you can have it. I don't want to die early, but they also could just flex it for free and just force you to walk into it. And if they stagger those two especially, you may have some big value for a long time to be able to just get this domination done.
Want to try to get that play done early. I think Durham, they're just hanging out. Just guys being dudes.
Just dudes being guys.
Durham, I think, really just felt dominant in a majority of that matchup, and I wonder if we're going to be seeing that same level of aggression here. They switch onto the Psylocke on the side of NCCA Blue. The Owls trying to get a little more aggressive with their playstyle, and wow, it doesn't even have time to try to work out. Calyx goes through. They're able to find 2 Resurrection onto Lucius Moon, who does keep things out a little bit more, 6-5, but still, Durham has that numbers advantage. They've already capped the point, and I mean, it is just Durham momentum right now. It's like a freight train and a wet paper bag.
I think it would actually be stuck to the front of the bumper. No, it wouldn't even go through it. And unfortunately, yeah, we've just not seen the same kind of value. Kokaku feels like they're trying to get in, get out, maybe have some escapists. They want to be a sort of a stealthy overall duelist if they can be. And now it becomes a Groot on Groot action sort of fight. Durham gonna force everyone right back. They lost Majin and they took it personally.
Ooh, Moon Knight ultimate comes out. One of my favorite characters, probably my favorite character play in the game. So I'm excited to see him getting some representation here at the Scholastic level. 2 eliminations from that Psylocke that I mentioned at the very beginning of the matchup. Turns it into a triple kill here. So Kokaku, finally, a player we've talked about a lot, not really being able to get that time to shine, finally comes back to life. Durham, though, going to be able to cap just about 50, if not more. Let's see, now going to be about 48. Yeah, 47 on the board. And Durham, they have that Scarlet Witch ult. It's quite literally hit or miss. So let's see if they're going to be able to get some value with it.
And they also have the Strangling Prison. Use that in combination, and that's just curtains.
Yep, guarantee.
Yeah, we'll see if that works out. Everything is starting to basically come up Durham, at least in the ultimate department. But NCCA Blue finding their first ticks in their first quarter of this site. That is big news for them, because they can also use the Strangling Prison much in the same way, especially use the Butterfly Dance. So making this work, they are going to be able to have at least some damage. But they're fighting on 2 fronts. Wow, a huge triple comes through.
Dude, you saw that in the future. You looked right into that. And Majin able to find a 4K. Going for a mythical 6 here. Yep, you're just going to go for the tactical reset. That makes plenty of sense, I think. Going in, playing it low and slow. The value comes out early for Durham. They use 2 ultimates. They've got the Cloak and Dagger ult with the Magneto Meteor just around the corner.
No chance to kind of keep themselves kosher for that. But you did actually see the Butterfly Dance get used, kind of encounter, just seeing if they could use that to survive.
Yeah.
This is a weird vent funnel point. I don't know if I'd want to walk through that, but I mean, it's kind of a nice high ground still. Just putting them in the same kind of hallway situation that we saw on the first map, and it's going to come down to this final team fight.
Final team fight has begun, and already it's going to flip in favor of NCCA Blue. The Magneto Meteor makes an appearance, but unfortunately not able to find that value. I think Durham's goal here at this point, they are going to lose the fight, but I think it's about just getting out as many ultimates as you can while using none of your own. Now, I say that, and Cloak and Dagger just used her ultimate, so that does make me a little bit fearsome that going into this next fight, they've only got the Wolverine ult to work with, and I do not think that is enough to win a fight against both the Hela ultimate and the Moon Knight appearance.
Yeah, hella. I mean, they get hella out of dodge as they
No,
will
straight up.
Yeah, they're gonna. You can actually look straight up and you can take them down, but it takes a bit of extra time. And I do agree. I've been playing a little bit more Moon Knight here recently.
I love him.
Completely undersold the versatility of movement as well, because he's got the grappling hook to be able to get to a lot of different high grounds, and he's very tricky to be able to get rid of. But if he just kind of brings out the ult, we'll see. Now we do have an all-in play, and you don't want to have these blades in your face.
No, absolutely you do not. The Wolverine ultimate, one that I was just very critical of moments ago, is actually going to work out quite well for the side of Durham. They're able to win that fight in a 6v0 kind of turnaround here. Psylocke, Kokaku, excuse me, the last player left standing, able to find that elimination they need. Going for the recontest, gets a little bit of value down on the board, but Invisible Woman turns this Psylocke invisible all the same. Wolverine has fallen, overtime begins to tick away, and Durham has already won map number 1.
Just had nothing to be able to bowling ball and clump themselves back onto this site. So that's going to be 2-0 here for domination for Durham Arts. They're already onto match point. I can't wait to see how these teams also kind of get themselves through our April madness, our April insanity, because there's a lot of different comps that are starting to really kind of come around, but this one felt like, all right, we have the Wolverine, we have the Scarlet Witch, and sometimes Scarlet Witch has been a little bit hit or miss, but this was tried and true out of Durham Blue.
Yeah, I mean, Scarlet Witch is very unique in her play style in regard to like at the higher ranks, her ultimate's a little bit easier to just dissect and like really kind of identify early on in a matchup. So maybe we'll be seeing less of her as these teams and players get a little bit closer to that higher rank, to our Celestial players, our Eternity players, and so on. I'm wondering going into map number 2 though, if we're going to be seeing any changes from either side, because that's the first time in 4 weeks that we have not gone to map 3 in that first stage. So it does put us a little closer to being on schedule, if you will. But regardless, we're already on series point, and that feels very quick.
Yeah, and we're going to be going over into a convergence. So you get to mix it up between not only getting a site, but we're also going to have that escort that you must be able to get done with the convoys. So between all that and there, all right, so do you prioritize the ban onto the Wolverine? What ends up being kind of the switch up? Because both Mantis and
They
Snow,
protected Wolverine, didn't they?
Oh, they did. They protected Wolverine, and the other side protected Groot.
Yeah.
But then you got rid of the Spider-Man, and then what was the other one that got banned? It was
Luna Snow.
Luna
Snow.
That was
Bucky. Bucky was the first one. Bucky Barnes.
Right. Okay. Which is understandable. Bucky has been super good, especially with the Kraken impact. Just feels like you can just reset all the time, and basically you planted a bunch of blood splatter of former heroes to the ground. So
Listen. There's
change
one
up?
thing no, because I think if they're going to ban Bucky once, they're going to ban him again. I think it's going to be happening. See, get it? It's funny. And it's true, which makes it even funnier because I do think Bucky is not making an appearance here tonight. I wonder if we're going to be seeing a ban maybe on Groot, because you protect Groot, but then you lose the Groot v. Groot. It's like, maybe it's easier if none of us get to play.
But what do you replace him with? Do you go to a Thor? Do you go into do you walk into
Doctor Strange is my knee-jerk reaction. Right? Yeah. Maybe Magneto. We saw some Magneto in there. Nothing wrong with that.
No, I mean, we already saw one Magneto, but they have the Hela. Hela didn't get a lot of value, and if you get rid of the Groot, then you'll just pick up into the Doctor Strange, and then you just shield any of the Goddess of Death. So maybe some of that comes back around. So you're kind of caught in a way where I think that they actually need to change their duelists. I
agree.
Like, Kokaku just did not look like they were getting what they wanted. Starting off of Star-Lord, couldn't find a moment to make a play. And then when they were on the Psylocke, I felt like it was kind of last gasp just to kind of stick around with invisibility and then getting back to sight.
Yeah, and I think there's a little bit of, if you're going to play Hela, you can also just play Punisher. They've got notably similar play styles, and Punisher's also, I think, one of the easiest duelists to wrap your head around. Walk forward and left click. Congrats, you've learned how to play Punisher. I think he's a very versatile, very easy character to pick up and understand, and I would like to see maybe a little bit more as we jump into this Convergence map. I also think he lends himself quite nicely to just playing on a payload.
That's very true. I've also been seeing too much of Human Torch here recently, so I'm glad that we've gone kind of away from all of that. I don't even know. I don't know if are they legal and allowed right now for all of our? Okay.
Thing and Human Torch are both tournament legal.
Okay, cool.
I've got to say, one of my students in my Marvel Rivals team in my program loves Human Torch. It's the only character she loves to play. She loves to get hyper aggressive with him, and I mean, it's going to be sick. It's an eternity ranked player. So going into next year, I'm excited. Our Marvel Rivals team is going to hopefully be very, very good. So fingers crossed.
Okay, I would love to be able to see them succeed because Human Torch definitely is getting a lot of practice in all of my ranked games. That's what I've been seeing, and
He's
been
a menace.
it keeps it so rough. I would actually want them to kind of flex away from Hella. I would love to see if we get any of the same kind of play that we did from Black Panther a couple of weeks ago.
Ooh,
that dude
yeah.
was McNasty about it. They actually may go into Kokaku's hands. It feels like they want to
Here we
play
go.
much more of a solo duelist. So we'll see how all that works out. Who's first bans? Does it say the same? Yep, they hate Spider-Man.
Spidey the man. And Bucky Barnes. Oh! They do it. Wait, the protect though.
Yeah, who do they choose to protect them?
Can you only protect someone who hasn't been banned? Am I misunderstanding this?
I think
So like Wolverine's been banned, so they can't protect him because they know that ban went through.
As soon as he was first banned, it is unavailable. They want Luna Snow. They did
So
not
it was
like that she was
intentional.
taken away.
So it was absolutely intentional. Let's see who the protect is going to be. Oh, the doc.
Doctor.
Here he comes. Somebody's feeling sick. They're bringing the doctor home for a house call.
Do they get rid of the Groot? Now that you already protect the Doc, do you even waste time with the Groot?
Honestly,
okay.
Yep.
They banned the Groot. And they were the ones that, okay.
I was just about to say, I feel like maybe you do, but then the wrong team did. Oh, there goes my backup pick, though, which basically forces the Doctor Strange play. Maybe Thor. Oh, we did see Penny Parker very briefly as well. I honestly always kind of forget she's in the game, and that's simply my own fault because I don't play her, so I kind of forget that she's around. But I think Penny Parker could make an appearance here. I can't believe Bucky Barnes didn't get banned.
Okay, so this is also the difference that's coming through. We're getting the single Vanguard, and we're getting triple Duelist. So, all right. Is that gonna work? Kokaku's gonna be back on the Star-Lord. Slifix is gonna be on to the Namor, which also I've seen people say that there's different ways to say Namor. Is it?
I've always said Namor. I think you can say Namor as well, but I've always been a Namor believer. Yeah, Namor, honestly, yeah, Namor could also be correct. I don't know if there's really a wrong way to pronounce it, considering he's a fictional being. He's a fictional
Words
guy
are
from the
made up.
ocean. Yeah, like words do tend to be made up. I think Superman's name, Kal-El. People call him Kal-El. Kal-El. It's Kal-El. Yeah, Kal-El. That's a thing people say weirdly often.
That's a fat tongue situation.
It absolutely is. Kal-El. It's like saying Kyle, but you're choking on something.
It's like they want to say Kakarot, Dragon Ball Z.
Just Dragon Ball Z, yeah. Also, I fully forgot about Hulk. That is my bad.
Okay. All right. So they'll have that alongside with FF onto the Doctor Strange. So it can be very aggressive. It's going to be attack coming through at least initially. I think Durham. So we'll see how this one ends up working out. The high ground is where you win the initial fight. That is basically what this initial plant comes from, and then what can they do to just kind of subdue you? The biggest change up here is we're seeing Iron Fist. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, Iron Fist is definitely a fascinating choice to bring to the table here. He's a very unique character. A lot of people are very torn on how they feel about Iron Fist. Personally, I don't like him when someone else is playing him, but I do enjoy playing him. So I'm a bit of a hypocrite, you might call it. Durham Arts, though, going to be coming in early here, able to find a lot of damage on the board. Already able to find 2 eliminations versus the 2 that has been thrown against them. So we're going to get a clean 40 for the next elimination. Likely going to be the one to decide which way this flips. And as Majin goes down, I do think that means NCCA should be able to win this fight, especially as Doctor Strange finds another elimination. Gets that aerial advantage and stays alive long enough to disrupt Durham. A full minute off the clock.
That's actually one of my favorite Doctor Strange skins as well. Got that hair, got that do. Just look at that mega popped collar. Oh.
Yeah, it's saucy for sure. I like it a lot. I don't know who it is, but I think it's the Bucky Barnes. Somebody's wearing a skin that feels very Critical Role coded, so that's exciting for me.
All right, so didn't quite get a third of sight, by the way. So Durham is going to be sent backpacking, and so they're going to get to halfway through this. And so far, so good here for NCCA as the Owls looking for a chance to keep Durham completely off sight, but that's a long time to keep this one from breaking open.
Yeah, 3 minutes. I mean, we're already down to 2:15. It took them a while to come back for this recontest. They've got a Winter Soldier ultimate, the Bucky Barnes ult, and I want to see them use it, but instead he holds W into the entire enemy team, does not let go, and it gives him an execution there. It's going to be 2 eliminations now in favor of Durham, though, even losing that Bucky Barnes. They're trying to turn things around. The Lim Snow ultimate from NCCA is going to be teamed up with the Eye of Agamotto. Makes it a little bit harder to stay alive, and it's going to be able to find 2 stuns, which turn into 2 eliminations, which turn into a point flip in favor of Durham.
When your spiritual form goes into the vast void and into another dimension, you often are unable to move it too quickly. So that's going to be a good use. They were starting to kind of worry me just the tiniest bit there, Septilence. It was looking like that was beginning to have the owls in a place of advantage, and instead they at least busted open the site. So the spider bot will come down, but they want to immediately deal some damage. They were going for a read as they go into the Invisible Woman ultimate, but that Bucky play so far has been completely shut down.
Yeah, the Bucky play has not really had the value that I think they wanted it to have at a time like this, and unfortunately, we saw the ultimate come out to no avail across the board. Wasn't able to get really any eliminations up and running, but the point has still been capped, 3.5 minutes. The good news is you're A, preventing a draw, and B, or preventing overtime, so you're preventing extra rounds, and B, you're finding an opportunity to really set a win condition for your team. It doesn't have to be about stopping them from catching up if you can really take a dominant lead, which I think Durham should be able to do.
You see the all-in, depending on how many people drop to use this other Eye of Agamotto. Well, we're not going to get a chance to kind of keep asking that question because Soys does in fact drop. Everyone else seems to be kind of slowing their roll. That's going to be another big KO. That one comes out of Mince, but Durham, as this Spiderbot inches forward, Flex is flicking the wrist there with Namor, just seeing what they can build up into. They still already have their ultimate, so feels like if they can pincer maneuver with this one, we could see a big stall, especially with that Eye of Agamotto already online.
Yeah, this Namor ult is one of my least favorite in the game, simply due to the fact that if you get hit by it, it's almost a guaranteed death if the enemy team is paying attention to when it makes an appearance. Knocks down the entire team. You're not able to get up fast enough, and it often can cost you a pretty pivotal fight. Speaking of pivotal fights, though, we're down to 2.5 minutes on the clock, so if Durham wants to do anything, they're going to have to try and do it soon, and with the Eye of Agamotto, they may be able to do so. 2 eliminations, and I'm starting to see why the Doctor Strange was banned earlier. FF is having a great time.
They're having a great time, and they actually used their Eye of Agamotto before Soys even
Sorry,
has
they're
a
what?
chance.
Sorry, they're what?
Well, okay, they were.
Sorry, no, I don't know what that is.
The what?
Did you mean the Eye of Agamotto?
Oh, my bad.
I thought you, yeah.
I said it in a regular voice. My bad. So if I just say Eye of Agamotto, no, it's Eye of Agamotto.
There we. Oh, okay, okay. That's what
Yeah,
I thought you meant, but it was hard for me to understand.
Yeah, when those words come out, it has to be at a volume that is just unreal.
You have to say it like you're never gonna say anything else ever again.
That's your final statement. Your death call. Yeah. The death rattle on my bed.
The Eye of Agamotto! Turns out they don't even need it, by the way. They have been doing a great job. The Eye did not get a lot of ultimate elimination off the back of it, but they found that Hulk ultimate to come through. They have the Bucky ult in the pocket as well, and with 3 minutes on the clock now, they were able to find that secondary cap. I really think Durham is doing a great job being able to set the precedent, set the win condition, and continue moving forward. I'm hopeful that they're going to be able to cap all 3 at this rate. We're going to need NCCA to really come out large and in charge if they want to try to stall this team.
Yeah, this is going to take a long time, and they have not actually used their ultimates at all. We see Kokaku and Flex trying to do it. They actually use the Horn of Proteus to get some kind of at least an idea for some big stuns, or for to be able to get a few picks. But Durham Arts Blue, again, they're getting called down. Feels like they just continue to find big dubs. Soys finally pops the Eye of Agamotto, but they didn't get turned into just paper, and they're shredded through.
That's tough. The ultimate almost non-existent at a time like that. The Luna Snow ult preemptively is a fascinating choice, as nobody's really doing anything to call out. That's the kind of ultimate you use in response to a damage-dealing ultimate. Now that that's off the table, I think Bucky Imagine here is going to go way in on this. Looking for an elimination, can really turn it into a 6-man, if not more. Then the spawn times Hulk goes rattling in. The Eye of Agamotto doesn't even need the Bucky Barnes Hulk. We hear Star-Lord Kokaku in the backline looking for that legendary play. And one would get traded out in the blink of an eye. Armed and dangerous. This is going to be Vinzoto on the side of NCCA Blue. 90 seconds on the clock, and Vinzoto finally getting the chance to bring that Bucky ult to life. Looks like it is going to keep the card from moving any closer for the time being.
2 or 3 Kraken impacts in a row, and you know, just a few minutes after Settlance was saying we were never going to see Winter Soldier, well, we got all of it.
I'm
all
so
the
glad.
time.
I love watching him. Can't play him to save my life, though.
Oh, I love him. Oh my gosh, he's one of my favorites. See, I actually just need to bust him out more. I'm trying to find more new things. Soys is trying to just survive as they have to escape. They will leap to their death. Actually, no, they will go all the way back on the site. And Kokaku's hoping to go to a backline. But this is, I mean, them versus the world, as they're just going to ride the Spider-Bot to victory.
Ride the Spider-Bot to victory, maybe. Maybe. No, certainly now. Kokaku finally goes down. 42 seconds left on the clock, and Durham has found the opportunity to put themselves in a very comfortable spot. Not only did they cap all 3 points, but they did so with some numbers on the board.
Which side you're on.
All right. Can this end up working out to get all 3? Here's the problem, is that you got to have that and you got to have time. They at least burned them down. I think it was less than a minute to be able to get complete the entire way of that little Roman spider bot. So do you switch things up? What it felt like they ran single Vanguard whenever they were on the defensive half, trying to have a lot more firepower between Kokaku and Flix, as well as for Mince. They move over to the Punisher as they're punching out from this one, but they're gonna still at least be showcasing for the moment they're going single Vanguard, and just to that double strategist. Does that sing to you as kind of a victory mark?
I think double strategist is the lowest you should go on how many you have on your team. I think a lot of people are willing to do like 3 Vanguard, a duelist, or 3 Vanguard, 2 duelists, and a support. But like that really freaks me out. I really want to see the strategist being brought to the table. I think the healing is super important. I think their ultimates tend to flip fights, especially Invisible Woman. Her ultimate is one of the strongest in the game in terms of healing output alone, and of course it eliminates any long distance targets or enemies from the fight as your team turns invisible. So I do think bringing her to the table is pivotal. Going into this though, 1 Vanguard versus 2, it really comes down to just how good your duelists are going to be. If they can hit their shots, they can do their damage, then it doesn't matter you're missing a second Vanguard. But if they're getting turned into paper mache every couple of seconds, well, you might want to have another Vanguard on the table just for that survivability alone.
And also, because they are the ones that have to be sent packing, Durham Arts has actually vied for the triple strategist. They've got Rocket, they've got Invisible Woman, and Cloak and Dagger. So they're going to set up the turret and see if they can be able to shred through what basically exists before them. Unfortunately, they did it from behind a pillar, so there is a chance to hide. They had that giant shield, and he's just throwing it from low down on the ground and become an ample target there for the Incredible Hulk. So unfortunately for them, they will be upended and off kilter from that building. But from that high points, NCCA Blue is taking a long fight against the Bulldogs.
Yeah, we're almost a minute in and the fight is just now starting. So if they lose this, it is going to be an absurd amount of time off the clock for them. We see FF getting double stunned there, but he's going to be able to keep himself alive. The Hulk ultimate and then the Bruce Banner ultimate in the pocket, so Hulk will make another appearance. Here comes that Punisher that I talked about during the break. I wanted to see NCCA Blue bring to the table, and I'm really glad that they are, because clearly it's working pretty darn well. Invisible Woman has fallen. It's a 1-1 trade in favor, I'd say, of the Owls here. Support has fallen versus the Duelist, but Durham Blue standing really strong here, doing a great job, just keeping themselves alive. Oh!
Unfortunate.
Unbelievably unfortunate.
Got posterized by themselves. They Kraken impacted
the crossbar.
Yeah, you know what? I hit the crossbar in every single game. Doesn't matter if it has a ball or not. Big trades, though, are something happening as you have 3 falling out here for NCCA.
I keep doing that. I keep doing that.
It's NCCA. It's a whole different game. Regardless, they've finally been able to clear out the Bulldogs. Just took some time as they're at least pushing them out.
The pivotal push out at a very important time is going to be wonderful here. NCCA Blue onto the cart almost the exact same time on the clock as we saw from Durham just last round. So things already a little bit closer than I anticipated. NCCA Blue trying to keep the dream and the team alive in this series. They want to try to take us to a map 3.
Any switch out occurred. No, still triple strategist. It did work out to have them kind of surviving long enough. And I like that they go for the check, seeing if there's any of these kind of flank high ground positions. Kokaku has been hoping and praying that they can get some kind of galactic legend play off of that one, but they're just gonna have to continue using those twin blasters to get rid of one, trip some damage here into these vanguards, and now they use the auto aim to just fend everyone off, and it looks like a press up with the Luna Snow ultimate to see if they can continue to push this card along.
Trying to push the cart through. Quite literally the name of the game right now, so NCCA looking for that opportunity to strike, and I'm just not sure they're going to be able to lose this fight even if they tried. The ultimates come out in troves. The value is to be found on the side of NCCA. Durham Arts Blue really starting to fumble in this second half. It seems like the defense is simply not for them.
Got a final judgment that's ready to go. You have a lot of damage here available for NCCA Blue. You're about to get all the way up back into that Winter Soldier ultimate. It's already on for the Bulldogs. You gotta wonder how they will combine into that. They actually do activate the Invisible Woman ultimate, so you're not gonna see everything as they start spilling out at you. And they want to take over that corner, turn this into a funnel point. It's a tough one because this is actually one of the more available routes for everyone to go. But as soon as you get that single pick, you can start really pressing them on.
Yeah, and this is going to be interesting because Durham is able to win this fight, and it's going to be the next fight that's arguably the most important in the entire game. If NCCA loses this next engagement, we can really see a stone wall be built here in the middle of the map. Durham may be able to win this into that slow defensive burn, but if NCCA can break through, well, all it did was slow them down a little. If it brings them to a full stop, that's where I'm going to get worried.
You have Kokaku and Mince. You're going to have your two duelists out of the way. Soys does have the Eye of Agamotto. I'm gonna have to like speed run having that as a call out.
The Eye of
Agamotto. It's like a Vada Kedavra, but just big stuff.
That's a Harry Potter reference, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
No, I'm just never. I don't know it. So
it's a whole. If it sounds like it's like make believe Latin, it's probably
is. All right, fair enough. That's a good rule of thumb to keep in mind. But a lot of ultimates in the pocket here from both sides, and I'm wondering if one Bucky's waiting for the other, if one Doctor Strange is waiting for the other. It's maybe the Rocket Raccoon ultimate, that's the first one to make an appearance here. We hear some real firepower being brought to the table as well, but it's not able to find the eliminations quite yet. A one on Drake comes out, but I'm Invisible Woman down once again. Punisher has fallen, the Luna Snowball comes out too little, too late, and Durham has done what I was worried about most. They have effectively and totally canceled out the successes of NCCA Blue in this fight, bringing him down to just 100 seconds on the clock.
You bust the Luna Snow ultimate to 0 effect. That was, I don't know if that was done at least about 5 or so seconds ago, but the rest of the team was already down. So that composition, well, rather not the composition, but the coalition of them have just not found big value. You do have Eye of Agamotto finally gets popped in and gets stunned. No, it simply goes away, and Soys is about to be done the same. Baby's gonna get put in a corner, and we're going gamma rays, baby.
We've got the Hulk coming out to try and answer back with the legendary play from Star-Lord in the sky. Hulk, oh my goodness, record time brought to his knees and obliterate. That invisible ult comes out way too late, but it looks like they're going for the stagger play more than anything else. They want to slow the team down, try to eliminate and just procrastinate this cart movement for as long as they can. They make it out, they lose their rocket on the way. I think you're getting to a point where your team's simply not doing enough damage. We need to swap off triple strategists here.
Yeah, it's just not working. You're not able to kind of keep them off. So unfortunately here for NCCA Blue, they've actually found a time or two where they've been able to press. And so Durham Arts, they did lead this clock. They're about to be reaching that midway point, but they're only about 2/3 of the way through the first half of it. 30 seconds to go. With the way the Bulldogs have been executing, they've been putting heads on pikes, and the spikes are going to be looking them straight in the face of the Owls. Can they make it from out of the barn and into the winner's circle? They're about to make it to the bridge.
18 seconds left, so NCCA Blue, now they are significantly behind where we saw Durham when they first got here, but it's not a time like this, it's about the time you have at the end of the map, and the Eye of Agamotto makes an appearance from Durham Arts early on. There's no follow-up, genuinely 0 eliminations. Off the back, they have to bring out the Rocket Ultimate to try and make up for that missing space. They're still going to be losing their Hulk, and now their Doctor Strange, their Vanguards have fallen. NCCA Blue, they're popping every ult they have, which is good for Durham, but they are going to get the second half, which is bad for them.
Oh boy, yeah, Durham, it felt like that was just all right. Can we get them to flinch? Can we get them to flex? Force them to use some of their ultimates that we know are coming up. So there's the Eye. They're going to be sent into the other world as both of 2 out of their 3 strategists that will at least be caught. Liv is able to at least survive it as Wannon goes away. So now you just become a little scientist and you pray that your ray gun works. Did not. Still OT though, and it's still 3v4.
Executioner makes an appearance at a really good time. Bucky's going to go down. The rest of the team should follow, and it's going to be that Punisher. This is exactly what I talked about during the break. It's going to be that Punisher that comes in and makes the difference at the end of the day, able to give NCCA Blue the opportunity to possibly push into extra rounds here in map number 2. Oh, what a stagger.
Wow. Chase them all the way down.
That's going to hurt.
Yeah, that's going to take time to get back onto this map. Considering, though, how long they were able to hold them, they're not going to be able to match up against Durham Arts Blue's 42 seconds that was left behind. So, unless this Spider-Bot suddenly gets some kind of, I don't know, jetpack and starts moving around. Also, I forgot that he can even hang on to the sides of buildings. That makes a lot of sense.
Because nobody ever does. Yeah, because nobody ever really uses that ability. It's something that's pretty easy to forget, honestly. But I mean, only the Rocket Raccoonal in their pocket, the Legendary, and the Bucky back in the pocket. Speaking of Legendary, it shall appear. Hulk gets frozen in the backline. Star-Lord able to find the Cloak and Dagger again. You've got to give NCCA credit. Their ability to just find the strategist over and over and over and over and over makes this so difficult to win these fights if you are on the side of Durham. Durham had 42 seconds, so the good news is regardless, the NCCA Blue will be capping if they do with less time than you brought to the table, but going into extra rounds is still terrifying regardless.
It really is. There was 14 gajillion possibilities for this NCAA Blue to be able to make a win. The only one that is going to be allowed to them is with the clock running out. Overtime just on the other side. You're going to see the See You Next Tuesday ultimate coming through, and then everyone gets slapped. Swords goes away. Durham Blue might have been able to do it just there. That is huge. But the Bucky's throwing hands.
The Bucky brings an ult out. We see the Hulk dropping an ultimate of his own as well. Oh no!
Oh boy. Cloud9. Well, there it went. Convergence is where it falls.
That's a full-blown C9.
Yep. You gotta be near the old cart, and that's unfortunate because they were making a last stand of it, looking pretty strong. Wow. You know what? Congrats goes over to the Bulldogs. They will be improving, I believe, to 4-2.
Yes.
And life lessons were just learned by the side of the Owls.
It is maybe something happened that we didn't see, but I don't think anybody has a mobility ability on that side. I really think, I really hate to say it, I think that was a Cloud9 after all, a C9. Unfortunately, it is going to be a victory. Not the way we wanted to see it end, but still an end to a means. A big congratulations, as that is going to bring us, as you said, to 4-2.
All right. Well, you know what, Durham, I think that you had nailed it on the head. We had seen a lot of those players, in fact, the entirety of that team, a couple different weeks, and it looks like they have definitely been taking strides as to what they want to do.
They're getting better.
They're looking great, and so everyone is doing their homework. This is a brand new game. It's only been out for a few months, and it looks like there's a lot of teams and players that are trying to make huge careers out of it, especially from what we've seen across this great state for North Carolina. But you know what? That's going to be the end of that one, but it's not the end of our giveaways. So Spirit Fingers
giveaway number 6. Tyler for Gaming _89385. A big congratulations to you for being our 6th giveaway winner. Now, Monkey Man, what if we just also announce our 7th giveaway winner while we're at it? Before we wrap things up tonight, our 7th giveaway winner, there has to be somebody. It is ZNO Made is the name I have been given. ZNO Made, M-A-D-E, not M-A-I-D. So big congratulations for being a participant in the VESL chat and being an active member here of our community, as this could not exist without our community, but also big congratulations for winning the gift card. Get in touch with somebody to get that figured out for you. And folks, before we finally bring the main season to a close, we want to give a big thanks to our production team in the back line for making everything happen. We had a couple of production teams as this season went out, but there they are in the flesh, every single one of them. We literally could not put this together without you. They get the teams ready, they get the game ready, they get our stream ready, they run your stream. They do pretty much anything you can think of that isn't Hail Monkey Man and I sitting here just yapping. Everything else is our production team, so we are unbelievably grateful for them, and we are, of course, unbelievably grateful for every single one of you that continue to come out and support us each and every week. VESL could not exist without the constant support we get from you guys, so thank you, and thank you to all the teams that have been here. We're super excited for what's coming in the future, and we know that we'll see you guys there. So for the time being, check your posture, drink some water, don't forget to love each other, and we'll see you next time. Have a great night.